Hello, tarot lovers. Happy New Year. Welcome to my channel, Tantra and Tarot with Kelly. Today, we are going to be doing 2023 predictions for each sign for the new year and discuss how to work with the energy and consciously create and manifest your dreams for 2023. You may watch for your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. And although these readings will be primarily based on your rising sign for planet ingresses, you may find a little something in each reading for yourself. So first off, I'd like to go ahead and wish a happy birthday to all Capricorns and say thank you so much to all of my newest subscribers. You are helping me make this channel a success, and I owe you my gratitude. So today we're going to start with Capricorn. And please use the timestamps below if you would like to jump ahead to your sign. I will be using the Naked Heart Tarot along with the I Ching Archetype deck, Animal Spirit deck, Romance Angel, and the, let's see, I got one more here, and the Moonology deck. So how it'll work is that I'm going to be picking 5 oracle cards for each sign, along with a main energy tarot card and 1 tarot card for each season. So there'll be 5 oracle cards and 5 tarot cards for each sign. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. We're starting with Capricorn. And we're going to talk a little bit about the planet ingresses for 2023. We have several major ones going on. Some slower moving planets are now finally making their way into the next sign. And if we're talking whole sign houses, then it's going to be a little bit more general, but based on where your rising sign marker is, it may not exactly line up as I discussed. So as you know your chart a little bit better, that may make some more sense to you. All right, so for Capricorn, we have Jupiter moving into your 4th house this year, and that actually just happened. We had Jupiter just ingress into Aries on December 21st, and then we will have Saturn ingress into Pisces on March 8th, and Pluto ingress into Aquarius on March 24th. So what does that mean for Capricorn rising? That means you will have Jupiter moving into your 4th house of home. You'll have Pluto moving into your 2nd house of self-worth, and you will have Saturn moving into your 3rd house of communication. So we will see how those work with the cards. I'm going to go ahead and cut the deck for Capricorn. The bottom of the deck, when I cut, I had the Innocence of Wands. I'll just go ahead and mention that. So it could be some new communication coming in, like we discussed with Saturn moving into your 3rd. I'm going to take a main energy for the year, and then I'm going to do a winter, spring, summer, and fall. All right, we'll let those hang out for a minute as I'll take the rest of the cards. So I'm going to get an Animal Spirit card for Capricorn. So hoping everybody had a lovely holiday season and a very happy new year. I'm excited for 2023. We're going to have some new energies coming in, especially as those slower moving planets are making their way into the next sign. So spring is going to be quite a change from the feelings that we've been having over the last year, especially as we have Saturn move ahead from that tight square that it was in with Uranus for such a long time in 2021 and 2022. All right, let's see here. I am just missing, I need an archetype card for Capricorn. And then we're going to just take one I Ching card just to keep it simple. And we'll read a little bit more about each of these cards as we get into it. All right, so let's look what we have for Capricorn for the year of 2023. The main energy I have for Capricorn's year of 2023 is the 5 of Pentacles. The winter energy I have is Temperance. Spring, we have the 2 of Cups. In the summer, I have the Heart of Swords, which is the Queen of Swords. And in the fall, I have the 10 of Wands. For your Animal Spirit card for Capricorn, I have the Gazelle. And then for your Moonology card, I have Work Through Your Fears, New Moon in Scorpio. And then I have the Samaritan card for the archetype card. And the romance angel is retreat. And your I Ching card is number 19. It's approach, I believe. So we'll look more into that, but let's go ahead and talk about these cards for the seasons for Capricorn. So it looks like at the beginning, the very first card I pulled is the Five of Pentacles. So with this being the overall energy of 2023, it could be a year where you are focused a bit on your finances and how to make some more money if in fact you feel like you don't have enough. And what's interesting about this, and what I will talk about with each sign, is how to, in almost the Tantra way, know where the planets are going to be and know what may come up and how to work that in to consciously create. So say, for example, this isn't like the most positive card on the deck. So how are you going to use your mentality to work with any energies that may or may not be the easier energies? So if, for example, you don't have the type of finances you want this year, then how to consciously create those finances is to be aware of it and then use what you have to do your best in the circumstances. So if you're feeling left out, then it's time to start volunteering this year. If you're feeling like you don't have enough money, then maybe donating a small amount of money to a cause could help you feel more rich in your own shoes. So thinking about that, there could also be a time where you may be needing help where you don't feel like you can ask for it. So thinking about that throughout the whole year may help you determine how to move past any of these energies. With Chiron that we just had go direct in the end of December, I do know that there are quite a few people that maybe felt like that self-worth thing was coming up. You are going to have Pluto moving into your second house. And so that's really going to be working with you on creating a better storyline that you can tell yourself surrounding your self-worth, surrounding what it is that you deserve, and what it is that's going to be coming to you. So let's see what's coming to you in the winter time. Well, here over the next 3 months, we have the Temperance card. So it may just be a divinely guided time to have some patience or work with a Sagittarius. So as the year gets kicked off, you may be finding how to work with that deeper patient side of yourself to alchemize any of the energies that could be too much. Perhaps there was a little too much partying and drinking going on at the end of the year, and now you're trying to slow that down and have some harmony surrounding how to bring more balance to areas of your life that may have been out of balance, and or working with your fire and your water sides to create something new out of what we have here in the fall. So it's a great time to set some goals. It's a great time to look at what didn't work for you in the previous cycle as to start manifesting those dreams for yourself. In the springtime, we have the Two of Cups. And what I like about this is that now that you are in this time where you're going to be having Saturn move into your third house and Jupiter moving into your fourth house, it may work better for you in communicating with your loved ones, which could bring about a more positive relationship energy. After slowing down and assessing those areas of your life that you may need to work with here on a deeper level, that's going to help you fill up your own cup so that you can bring in relationships that are going to be beneficial to you. Could be new work partnerships, or it could be a love relationship that is going better for you at this time. But be mindful of not feeling like left out, of not feeling not good enough, and transforming that energy. So as we move through the springtime and feeling like you're more connected with loved ones and with your cherished relationships, then that is going to give you some insight and just some decision-making qualities as we go into the summer. So you may be connecting more with an air sign female type, like a Gemini, a Libra, or a Aquarius, and that person may be teaching you, or you may be teaching them how to cut off that which doesn't serve you, how to perhaps be a little bit more high and dry surrounding your communication style, and how to bring about that which you want by saying no to the things that didn't make you happy in the past. The Queen of Swords has no problem yielding her sword in a way where she knows she's not going to get hurt. So these relationships of yours could be teaching you more about areas that you've had pain and how to not have those in the future. But also, this is a very intellectual time frame for you. So you may be feeling like starting a business. You could be feeling like using your mind in a new and challenging way. And what is that going to do for you? Well, it could mean some extra work as we're moving through the rest of the calendar year. We have the 10 of Wands. You may be taking on some extra duties. Perhaps if you did start a business or have a new partnership, it may feel like you just have a lot going on towards the end of the year, which is pretty typical for a lot of calendar years, that there is a lot at the end that you're working with. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So be aware of your goals this year and determining how much you're going to put on your plate so that you feel like you do have the time to accomplish all that you want to in 2023. All right, so let's look at some of these archetype cards. Here we have Samaritan. It says, refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore, or exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. I really like how this works with the Five of Pentacles, as you can be a Samaritan to others who may need your help at this time, or you may also realize that by being a Samaritan, you no longer feel left out or without the things that you need, knowing that there are plenty of people who need help out there, and you may be just the person to offer that to someone. For the romance angel, I have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. So you could be planning a trip with that special someone just to get away for a while. Or this may be you just spending more alone time together. Perhaps you want to go on some hikes or be in nature like this couple is, or just taking some time to slow down and to appreciate the finer things in life. As Pluto is moving into your second house, it may feel like you do have to work through some fears. We have new moon in Scorpio. The new moon in Scorpio will be in the fall time of this year, which will coincide with this 10 of Wands. So perhaps if you're afraid of saying no to people, or saying, I just have too much on my plate right now, I can't do that right now, and you're afraid of what people may think if you don't go along with the crowd, then that is something that you can be working through to manifest a happier time where you're not dealing with these heavier fears, which is going to require letting go. So Pluto in your second house may be forcing you to let go of any of those old opinions that you have in order to have more happiness in the present moment. And you will likely be doing that with grace and style, as the gazelle says. Let's take a look at what the gazelle does have to say, and to get some more keywords for you. Let's see here. The gazelle is a fire element, and it says here, heightened awareness, ability, and vulnerable. So that's kind of a challenge to be a bit vulnerable in the new year. When in balance, graceful, perceptive, artistic. When out of balance, food allergies, insomnia, racing mind. Bring into balance yin yoga, a cozy home, and good food. Well, with Jupiter moving into your fourth house, having that cozy home and that good food, the areas of expansion as it pertains to your fourth house, will really help you bring this year into balance. We also have number 19 from the I Ching, which is, I believe, approach, but we're going to see. It says the approach of spring, which we're getting close to, and that's going to be when you're working on your partnerships or enjoying those on a deeper level. So it says, spring is coming. Good times seem inevitable, and there is vitality in the air. This is a most auspicious time. Like a snake emerging from hibernation, negative forces are only beginning to stir and can be effectively controlled. This is a time of hopeful progress and must be used to one's best advantage. When approaching good fortune, conscientious work pays great dividends. A clear road that lies ahead. In the spring, the seeds have been lying dormant and are ready to bloom. Act now, for at some point, this ripe opportunity for advancement will be challenged. No spring lasts forever. It's wise to stay alert and note the changing signs of the times. In doing so, preparing for less fertile times is a noble and fruitful effort. Make the most of the season now. So maybe it is a good idea to put some extra money in your savings account, because who knows what's going to happen at the middle of the year. Maybe you will be looking for a new job and you're going to be happy that you saved some money early on. All right, Capricorn, that's what I have for you for 2023. Next on, we're going to be moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius, we're talking a bit about these major planets as they move into new signs and what that's going to mean for you for 2023. And so for you, Aquarius, we have Jupiter moving into Aries, and that's going to be in your third house of communication, ruled by Gemini. And then we also have Pluto moving into your first house of self. And so that's going to bring up some interesting challenges as it deals with your own personal life. Then we have Saturn moving into your second house of self-worth. And so that is going to be working with those Tauran ideas, those Venusian ideas of how you feel about yourself and your senses and what you're doing to make those things a reality for yourself. Ooh. I'm going to shuffle up some of these cards, and then we're going to start by pulling a main energy for 2023 and one for each season. Let's get a couple of good shuffles here, and then we'll take a one of the archetype cards for each one. All right, let's see here. I'm going to cut the deck for Aquarius for 2023. The bottom of the deck, when I cut, I have the Two of Swords. Could mean some decision making for you this year. All right, main energy, past, present. Oops, I'm sorry. We go main energy, winter, spring, summer, fall. All right, doing this a little differently this time. Okay, so let's take an oracle card for each deck. I'm going to take an I Ching. Here's an I Ching card for Aquarius. And then we're going to take one of each. So yeah, so it could be some challenges with Pluto now moving into your first house from the 12th house. It may have been more of a spiritual learning time frame. And now you're going to be having to learn how to work with and let go areas of yourself that need to be changed in order to become that beautiful butterfly that you are. All right, here is our archetype card. And then let's take an animal spirit card for Aquarius. And getting some good ones here. So hold on just a moment. We got two more to go. We're going to take a romance angel and a moonology card. All right, what do we have for Aquarius for 2023? Oh, beautiful. Well, I must say, I have to tell you the moon card first, because we pulled your card for the moon card. It says, show the world the real you in 2023. The animal spirit card I have, I love it, is the unicorn, and that is your sixth chakra. So working with your third eye this year. The archetype card I have is Saboteur. The romance angel card I have for Aquarius is religious factors. Your card I have for the I Ching is number 45. I'll talk more about that in a bit. Let's look at what we have for the tarot. The main energy I have for Aquarius for 2023 is the Seven of Cups. Your winter energy I have is Earth Mother. It's the Empress card. The spring energy is Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, I love it. The summer energy is the Spirit of Cups. That's the King of Cups. The fall energy I have for you is the Universe. All right, we got quite a few major arcana here for Aquarius. So let's talk about it. All right. So your overall energy is going to be the Seven of Cups. So this is just this dreamier type of feeling. It may have a lot of options this year. I don't know. If you're single, maybe you're going to be doing online dating. But if you're not single, it just means that you may have a lot of choices, and that could be a little confusing for you. You may feel like you have your head in the clouds and you'd rather keep it there, like this giraffe here. Or you may also feel like there is just going to be one right decision to make. We did have that Two of Swords at the beginning. And so there could be some choices that you have to make this year as it pertains to these new planet ingresses. All right. So in the wintertime, you're going to be working here with the Empress. The Empress is oftentimes the mother card, or somebody who has given birth to their pain. You may have gone through a long pain cycle, perhaps with having Saturn in your first house, and now it's going to be moving into your second house, teaching you about the Tauran things of life, which is the self-worth areas of life, of how much you think you should be paid, or what somebody owes you as you're putting in hard work, feeling beautiful in your own skin, working with things that are lovely and beautiful, such as your home, your space, feeling like you can nurture and care for others because you have nurtured and cared for yourself on a deeper level. And you're going to be looking really good, Aquarius. This Empress card is always beautiful. And so in the wintertime, just enjoying those positive emotions, surrounding your self-worth. And if you aren't feeling it, then it could be time to go out and get that new hairdo. It could be time to go out and buy some new clothes, something to make you feel beautiful and to shine in that way that you deserve. So moving on from there, in the springtime, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. And I really like this Wheel of Fortune as it pertains to Jupiter moving into your third house of communication. You could be starting to meet some new people in your community. You could be expanding your world in certain ways as it pertains to how you connect with others. Maybe you're joining some new online social groups. Maybe you just have some luck and good fortune that comes your way that is unexpected. So that could be very exciting for you in the springtime. And so just see how Jupiter's working with you in that way. And if you feel any limitations from Saturn in your second, just know that maybe there are some choices that you have to make in order to feel more joyous, and in order to feel your self-worth is very valuable and valid. And if you aren't getting that communication from others, certainly having that self-talk for yourself is going to be very good. In the summertime, you could be connecting with a water sign male, like a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces. However, I am feeling more Cancer with this card. So you could be connecting with a water sign male, or anybody who has control of their emotions. So as you're working in the summertime, you may be working deeper with your emotions and feeling how you can still operate in a mature fashion while feeling a lot at the same time. So it could just be learning how to keep a smile on your face amidst some storms, or being there for somebody who needs your emotional support, and or working with a maternal figure such as your father, and discussing the deeper side of yourself that sometimes you don't show to everyone. Also, expressing your emotions is going to be important in a responsible way. So where is that going to bring you at the end of the year, Aquarius? Well, there's going to be some kind of graduation or completion. You may be working on a larger goal that you've been putting in for a long time. And now as we have Pluto moving into your first house, it's a whole new cycle. It's a whole new soul growth. You could be completing a lot of these little lessons that you've had with Pluto in your 12th, which may not have been easy. And now you've grown so much. You've grown so much, Aquarius. And what's beautiful about that is that the world is going to be recognizing it for you and bringing you those things that you deserve this year based on that hard work and giving birth to the pain of 2022. So moving Saturn out of your first house is going to mean that you've absolutely graduated with some beautiful lessons here. So I love it. So I think this year you're going to feel more of those benefits from all the hard work that you've put in. So let's read more about these oracle cards that we have here. So it says religious factors. Let's start here. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual paths. So maybe looking into studying some different religions right now. Maybe you want to go to an ashram, for example, or go to some kind of a yoga retreat, or maybe you meet somebody at church and this is like becomes a new friend or a love interest of yours, or maybe you start spiritually exploring different paths for yourself. And that may or may not be the same path that somebody else is exploring right now. Maybe your partner and you have different opinions as it relates to spirituality, but just know that the definition of spirituality is looking within for the answers. And so only you know what those answers are for yourself. So finding those answers this year is going to be key. And I think Jupiter is going to be helping you expand your world of spirituality, and it could bring a lot of options for you. So let's see what we have for the I Ching. For the I Ching, we have number 45. I feel like it says gathering together. How lovely. With Jupiter moving into your third house, we may be expanding the friend group, expanding those in which who we communicate with. And so we could be gathering together, literally. So let's see what we have here. It says, the power of gathering together is represented by a rally where each individual's strength is magnified by the collective power of community. For example, history has shown that mass movements can bring about stable, ordered, and durable conditions for the better. This reading may be pointing to an auspicious time for large group events or undertakings. The guiding force of a shared vision is essential to align unified forces and keep people advancing towards a common goal. So you may be the cheerleader there, especially as you're showing the world the real you, how to be doing this. Another image is that of a lake or basin filling with water. Just as the fullness of the lake can bring good fortune to all its realm, it can also overflow too much Jupiter, right? Leading to disaster. In a time of gathering together, it is essential that precautions against unforeseen dangers be considered, along with efforts to advance the common good along a clearly charted course. So sticking to your path. Much of human misfortune comes from unexpected events for which we are ill prepared. When gathering together with others, we are more powerful, even if in some ways we are more vulnerable. At any time of gathering together, it is a time of potentially great power, which can either be positive or negative. Everything is magnified when masses of people join together for a single purpose. When many people unite behind a single goal or strong vision, it is wise to take personal precautions, protecting your reasonable self-interest, because they can easily be lost in the melee of the crowd. So sticking with your values, knowing what your values are as you merge with others is going to help you stay strong and stay in your own lane and stick to your goals throughout the year. So making sure your goals are really clear, because you are going to be completing a lot this year with the World card at the end of 2023. And what should we watch out for, though? What can some of those red flags be throughout the year? Well, it says saboteur. highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. And as Pluto's moving into your first house, it could feel like we really do have to empower ourselves to make these changes and to stick to the plan. Shadow attributes induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. So watch if others want to undermine your goals this year and walk away from those who just are not going to be your support team right now. As you love yourself more, you're going to choose better and better people to surround you that are going to be reflecting that love back to you. All right, let's talk a bit about the unicorn here as we wrap up the reading for Aquarius. Unicorn is one of our spirit animals, and it represents the sixth chakra. So it could be some extra meditating for you. You could be working with some of those Tantra meditations, which I do have on my site. You can be raising your Kundalini to that energy. And if you do it with your partner in a sexual act, as you reach that soma level, you will have a deeper connection to those in which you're sharing your raised Kundalini energy. So working on that could be fun. It says reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity, like we see also with the religious factors. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago. The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. Why we wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from and if we can really trust it. We can think about higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. So as you're looking to those answers for yourself, it says, it's no surprise that the subtle essence of the unicorn cards resides in the third eye, the exact place from which the unicorn's hoard extends. This is called the Anja Chakra or command center. So really using your intuition, making decisions as they pertain to yourself and your self-love is going to be your best options for 2023. All right, excellent, Aquarius. Next up, we're going to be moving on to Pisces. Pisces, we're taking 5 oracle cards and 5 tarot cards. So I'm going to shuffle these back up and we're going to see what we get for Pisces. And we're talking about which planets are going to be moving into new houses for you this year. So the first one we had Jupiter ingress into Aries on December 21st. And for you, Jupiter is moving into your second house of self-worth and the senses, the 5 senses. So maybe expanding those areas and what you want to feel, see, hear, touch, taste, etc. in 2023, excuse me. Pardon me. So what does that mean for you? Well, perhaps you're going to be going to a bunch of new restaurants. Maybe you're going to be working on a new wardrobe for yourself. You're going to be using those Venusian qualities to try to create expansion in the areas of Taurus. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to take a main energy, a past, a present, and a main energy of winter, spring, summer, and fall. All right, so cut the deck at the bottom. I have the 3 of Pentacles. We do have, let's see here. We have Jupiter moving into your second house. We have Pluto moving into your 12th house. And we have Saturn moving into your first. So 3 of Pentacles can mean working with some teams this year. So be working on a new team, you'd be collaborating with others. All right, so let's take a look at the main energy and we'll talk about it as we grab the other cards. The main energy I have for Pisces is the 7 of Swords for 2023. So let's talk a bit about that as it relates to these ingresses. So with Saturn moving into Pisces on March 8th, there's going to be a heightened sense of responsibility that's going to come to you, which is going to feel quite a bit different than having Saturn in your 12th, where you were maybe learning more about the spiritual areas of life and all these little things that come up like in the Piscean way and how to integrate those. And now you've learned a deeper side of yourself. You're looking to the future, and the universe is wanting you to work a little harder now. I mean, if you didn't feel like you were working hard enough, now is going to be the opportunity for you to move into some new challenges for yourself. So that old story is just going to be falling away. There's not really going to be any room for anything that is lingering. Like, it's time to just put your fears aside and start learning how to trust on a deeper level. That which is coming to you is going to be for your best interest. You may want to escape, though. You may want to evade this encounter with Saturn because it could feel like a lot of pressure. So I'm going to take a romance angel, and then we'll see what those other cards are. So sometimes the Seven of Swords can mean that someone's not quite being honest. And as you're ruled by Neptune, I would watch for your own honesty and watch for your trustful nature. Maybe you are over trusting of certain people and you're going to just have to ghost someone. So could be sneaking away from something. All right. So in the winter time for Pisces, I have the movement of wands. You could be connecting with a fire sign like a Sagittarius, a Leo, or an Aries, but you could just be going out on dates. You could be flirting more. You could be feeling like, all right, I really want to be social right now. I want to find that spirit inside of me that I feel is more alive when I connect with others. Could be feeling some extra artistic flair right now, or just wanting to go out there and have a good time. So then for your spring energy, I have the universe. Ooh, I love this for the springtime for you all, because that is when you're going to have Saturn moving into your first house, and that is when that's when you're going to have Saturn moving into your first house and Pluto moving into your 12th. And so there is going to be an absolute completion for you. Saturn's moved all the way around the whole zodiac, and now it's moving into that first house where you're going to be starting something new. So what does that mean? You're going to be completing something in the spring. You're just going to be done with a portion of your life that you've learned all you can learn from, and now it's going to be graduation time, essentially. So maybe you are literally graduating this spring from a long journey. All right. So then in the summer for Pisces, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Could be getting a new job after graduation, perhaps, or just feeling like you have the money and the support that you want to feel like this beautiful part of yourself. Could be feeling more confident as a single person. Perhaps you were in a longer relationship that's over, and now you're going to be looking good and feeling confident as a single person, making that money for yourself where you don't need somebody else to rely on. You can just rely on yourself and get yourself what it is that you need, because you'll be able to afford it, which is lovely. And then in the winter time, we have the Eight of Cups. So maybe finding more solo time to fulfill your wishes towards the end of the year, or going on some kind of a trip, or doing some traveling, or perhaps moving or walking away from something that was unfulfilling. All right. So your romance angel I have for you for 2023 is express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So working with expressing yourself. What are the words that you're going to want to say to, I guess, support the relationships that you have, and also support yourself in a new and different way? And with Pluto moving into your 12th house, you may feel like it's time to transform on just this deeper, more spiritual level from yourself, which means that you're going to be having to tell people, hey, listen, there's things that I'm really enjoying right now, or there's some older things that I'm done with right now, but I would like it for you to be on this journey with me, or I may need to be on this journey on my own. But either way, being kind with your words is going to help you move forward in a positive way, and also only allowing others to give kind words to you. If somebody has not been communicating properly with you and you don't like it, then you're just going to have to tell them or leave and go somewhere else. So, all right. Let's see what we have. Number 28, it says excessive pressure That's a I Ching. We'll read a bit about it in a second. Your archetype card I have is storyteller. It says ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Shadow attribute, making up tales that harm others. So be careful about, as you're telling stories, make sure that they're truthful and they come from the heart, right? All right. So your Moonology card I have is step out of your comfort zone, North Node. And right now, we do have the North Node in Taurus, and it's going to be moving backwards into Aries in the middle of the year. So for you, we're going to be taking the North Node out of the third house and moving it into the second house. And so it could make you feel a little out of your comfort zone, but that's the idea, is for the growth. And we're going to have eclipses in 3 or 4 different signs in 2023. So with those nodes shifting, we're going to have eclipses in Scorpio, Taurus axis, and then also the Aries Libra axis, which will be happening more towards the end of the year, but we're going to get a taste of what that new direction is. So being mindful of that. I love your animal spirit card. For your animal spirit card, we have is the lion, which you're going to have a lot of strength this year. You're going to be the leader. You're going to be consciously creating from a position of strength this year, not from a weak position, but from knowing yourself on such a deep level that people just don't have the choice but to follow you as a strong, fiery leader. And we'll read more about this one as well. So let's look at number 28 for the I Ching, and then we'll also look up the lion card. All right. Number 28, excessive pressure. All right. And you may feel that as, Saturn starts to work with you, it could feel like, oh, wow, now there's so many things I need to figure out. And it's okay. Just take one thing at a time. Maybe make that list of where you want to go. And then will be consciously creating, because you're going to be sticking to your plan and sticking to your list and literally ghosting anything that didn't work for you. So just like, we didn't hear from Pisces anymore. They must be over it. All right. Excessive pressure. It says lake above, wind below. Something is about to collapse. A great pressure is causing an imbalance that needs correction. If the dam is about to burst, moving out of the way is your first priority. Likewise, if you're in an old mine shaft and you feel the earth begin to tremble, it's time for a quick instinctive action and nimble footwork. Only extraordinary measures can produce successful outcomes. When the roof is collapsing, run first and choose your destination later. Extraordinary times bring out the best and the worst in people. When a great weight is upon your world, powerful movements present opportunities to make great gains because everything is in a state of flux, very like a mutable energy here. One can either move in the direction of positive change and improvement or towards stagnation. To achieve the former, one must go gently in the heart of the issue to the cause. Then a smooth transition is assured. This may be the moment you have been waiting for, although the current challenge may seem more than you can handle, which is okay because something is going to be ending. So that's a good thing. Remember that a flood usually reaches its high water mark for only brief moments before it begins to subside. Action must be taken now to ensure opportunities for success later. You never know the true extent of your abilities until you, at least once in your life, dive into crisis with complete abandon, dedicating every ounce of your energy and every fiber of your being to the cause at hand. Now is that time. Dare to win. So just getting out there and testing the waters and trying some new things to figure out where you really find the true you, and certainly walking away from anything that isn't beneficial to you. And if that means you just have to leave, then that means you just have to leave. So let's read what we have for the Lion card, and then that should give you a good roundabout idea of what you're working with for 2023. All right. We have the Lion here. It says, patient, regal, a complete master. The lion is a master of the fire element and a living mascot of self-transformation. A lion personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. When in balance, the epitome of peace and strength. When out of balance, withdrawn, too serious, bring into balance daily meditation and friendship. So if things get a little heavy with Saturn this year, just going to hang out with those friends that you know you can enjoy a good time with and allowing yourself to shift and change as it is needed. All right, I know you can do it. You're that mutable water sign, Pisces. So I wish you luck in the new year. Next up, we're going to be moving on to Aries. Aries, I'm going to shuffle these cards up, and then we're going to talk a bit about how this energy is working for you for 2023. Aries, the big talk is that we have Jupiter that has just moved into your sign on December 21st, and it is there to stay. So a lot of expansion, a lot of good fortune coming to you. It may even be a little overwhelming with how much growth could be happening this year. And so in doing so, I suggest staying focused on what those goals are for you that you're setting at the beginning of the year, and allowing these new benefits to, there's your romance angel, wants to be that one. Allowing these benefits to really work with you. You may be feeling more spiritual. You may be feeling like you can work through pain in a better way. We're going to have Jupiter connecting with Chiron here in a few months in your first house. And so anything that was left over that you feel like you haven't moved through, it's going to be your time to move through them, but with somewhat of a reckless abandon. I'm just going to grow and I'm going to see what happens. And if it doesn't stick, it doesn't stick. And if it does, it does. But I'm not here to be stuck anymore. I'm here to move through any of that, those old challenges in a new and positive way. So bottom of the deck, when I cut, I've got 4 of Cups. May have just been some boredom, or may have just felt a little despondent, like you don't really want to participate. And if that has been how you have felt in the past year, this year may bring some more of that fiery energy to you. Okay, I have a main energy and then one for each season. Let's grab an I Ching card for Aries. And then I'm going to grab an animal spirit card for Aries and a moonology card. And then an archetype card. All right, archetype for Aries. But let's talk about the other transitions besides Jupiter. We have Pluto that's going to be moving into your 11th house to be shaking up some friendships for you, perhaps. And this is whole sign houses. So it's still, Pluto's so slow that it still may not move in there for a few years here. But either way, it's working its way into that 11th house of yours. So maybe transforming and letting go of friendships or communities that you were in before that just no longer apply, or you may be becoming more of a humanitarian this year. And then we also have Saturn moving into your 12th. So Saturn is teaching you more about that spiritual realm and could be pulling up literally anything for you to learn and work through. But it just could feel more a dreamy time for you working with Saturn. It could become, responsibility could be coming up in your dreams, literally. So we will see how that works for you here in 2023. Okay, the main energy I have for Aries is the 5 of Swords. Pretty competitive this year. Could be wanting to win at all costs, regardless of how others may feel about it, which does feel somewhat Aries to me, but making sure that if you are the competitor this year, we're going to be working on our jealous minds, and we're going to be working on how to argue with the best of them. For example, if you find yourself feeling stuck in the head and you're rolling around these things of you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to tell them how I feel when I see them. Well, maybe being a little bit kinder with the words and not necessarily giving it to them, but saying things in a way that it's going to provide for growth in the future. You're consciously manifesting this energy. I would say be gentle with your words. Okay, that way you will get something out of it rather than maybe perhaps making somebody mad. So perhaps you're a little angry at the beginning of the year or throughout this year if you're feeling competitive or you want to win. Just being gentle in the ways that you're working with others. All right, so the Interesting. The winter energy I have for you is the Tower card. You could be connecting with the Scorpio, or there could just be big changes coming in for you right now. Divinely guided changes that break down the old in such a way that you cannot go back to it any longer. It's not supposed to be there for you afterwards. It's supposed to change and morph into something new. Could be a breakup in a relationship. You could have a job change. It could be something just one day it was like this and the next day it's gone. So see how that's working for you this fall, or sorry, this winter. And see maybe where you can be consciously working with any of those changes as to have it not make you upset. Maybe you didn't win, but that's okay. You weren't supposed to this time. It was supposed to go away in a way that you can build from the ground up. All right. For the springtime for Aries, I have the Magician card. For the summertime for Aries, I have the Six of Wands. There's going to be success coming. Let's talk about it. And for the end of the year, for the fall, I have the 10 of Swords. So I'm going to look at the rest of these cards and we'll talk about all of these. All right, your romance angel I have is past life relationship. You have known each other before. Your I Ching card I have is number 46. It says Ascension. Your animal spirit card is the Wolf. Your Moonology card is Bring Love into the Situation, New Moon in Aquarius. And, oh, very interesting. You have the same card that I think we got for Capricorn for your archetype card, which is Samaritan. So, pardon me, I've had a little cold, so I'm going to just itch my nose here for just a second. Much better. Okay, so pardon me. We are going to be talking about all of this for Aries. So we discussed a bit about the Tower card. And so at the beginning of the year, any of those new changes that are going to happen, you may just feel differently about something. If it was a breakup, if there was a three-party situation, you're just going to be done with it because it's not going to be functioning for you in the way that it used to. So walking away from any of the changes, just letting the cards fall if they have to. If you need to change jobs, then I'm just going to change jobs. I'm not going to sit here and woe and whine about, oh, it's so hard on me, or this or that, or everything's up in the air. I'm just going to move through it with some grace and knowing that there is going to be some surprises coming up. We're going to be manifesting with all of those energies that you have, your earth elements, your water elements. You're going to be using your wits. You're going to be using your emotions. You're going to be creating new things, and there's going to be surprises coming in. So after the big change, you're going to have positive new stuff starting. This is the one card. So we are getting to the beginning here. You've got Jupiter in your first house, helping you to consciously create these areas of life that you want to have now for yourself. And since we can't go back to the past, we do have to continue to look forward. And the springtime is going to be about creating the new for yourself. You're going to have to be able to dream bigger right now. Saturn's going to be working with you in a way that you're going to be expanding your consciousness, and you're going to be moving into what I see as a very successful summer. Looks like here that we have the Six of Wands for the summertime. So anything that may have felt disappointing at the beginning of the year, you're going to be riding your high horse here, so to speak. If you were wanting to win, it looks like you will, but you're going to have to be patient a little bit. So getting your success is going to happen a little bit more in the middle of the year. And what's that going to mean by the end of the year? Well, by the end of the year, that of which you're done with, you're just going to be done with. It's going to be hopefully not any painful endings, but you may learn just a lot about yourself this year as Jupiter is working in your first house, and you're going to absolutely know that in which you don't want to go back to, that which caused you pain that you can no longer work with. We're going to have Jupiter touching Chiron, and that's going to be expanding those stories of pain and in a way that you can work through them. And you'll know exactly what that means for you, because There's going to just be so much forward moving energy here soon that you're going to look back at the past and say, you know what, I didn't want it anyway. I thought I did, but I know now that what happened at the beginning of the year was for my best interest at the end of the year, because you've had so much success in other areas. And if you really want to win at all costs, I think that you will. All right. So just being polite and patient, though, as you're doing that. And it says, Samaritan, refined your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. So I think that you're going to be giving to others this year. In any any time we're trying to create something for yourself, how you treat and work with others is going to be very important, because that is going to be reflected back to you. So if you're feeling perhaps even a little down at the beginning of the year, maybe finding some areas which you can volunteer. You're going to have Pluto moving into your 11th house. So working more as a humanitarian now, thinking about the bigger picture and how it affects others. All of those things are going to be important to you, I feel. And then what does it say here? For your romance, or no, this is for the Moonology card. For the Moonology card, it says, bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. And the new moon Aquarius is going to be in the February timeframe. So having more self-love for yourself, especially those odd areas of your personality which you don't think maybe are lovable, loving all the eccentricities about yourself as you're going through any kind of change is going to help you feel good, so you can create that which you want for the long term this year. So yeah, and loving others for who they are too. We're all different in our unique ways, and we all want to be part of the crowd in some ways or another. It says Wolf card here. This is very much your group of friends, your close pack in which you relate to. Could even be your dog here. However, let's read a little bit more about the Wolf card. The Wolf is an earth energy. So feeling grounded, if you feel like things are changing very quickly, just being grounded with it, connecting with those in which you have like-minded affinity for. It says guardian of the family and tribe, activism, ritual. When in balance, reliable, democratic, fearless, which is very much Aries. When out of balance, judgmental, dominating. Bring into balance, practice letting go. And we have the South Node still sweeping through Scorpio at the beginning of this year. So we are still doing more letting go. It says the wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching, religious or political studies. The wolf gets in trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. So yeah, as other people are trying to find their own individuality, embracing them so that they feel like they belong to part of the group could be one of your missions for this year. But you're going to be moving up, and you're going to be moving up very quickly with ascension. So if perhaps you lost your job or you're having major changes at the beginning of the year, don't worry. This is all for the higher good. I'm going to look up number 46 here, and you will have a much better understanding of yourself and the areas of growth in which you're making as you work through the year. All right, so it says pushing upward. Natural advancement is represented by growth in springtime, when new plant energy pushes upward through the earth. The emphasis is on upward motion, a movement from obscurity to influence, with growth that is supported by adaptability and an absence of obstacles. Constant and flexible growth is the key attribute of a plant pushing upward. This reading suggests a period of promotion and prosperity for you. Excellent. The wise person in harmony with fate is sensitive but determined. Make a sincere effort to apply a determined effort against forces of inertia by bending around obstacles that arise, and good fortune will follow. So bending around the obstacles, and then good fortune will follow. By remaining tolerant and flexible, you will retain the conscious innocence that best fuels growth and advancement. Willpower and self-control are necessary to manage growth properly, but an inner enthusiasm for life is what drives it. So really feeling that inner enthusiasm, like you have reached the top of the hill in the roller coaster and enjoying that ride, enjoying as the energy dips and comes back up. It's just all part of the plan. And how are you going to be doing that, and with whom, and in which kind of love manner? We have past life relationships. You have known each other before. So you may be finding some soulmate types that come to you to be part of this story for you in 2023. And whatever it is that you want to consciously create with them, it may feel like something that you've done in the past. It could feel like a deja vu, but in that new and better way. All right, Aries, good luck in 2023. Next up, we're going to be moving on to Taurus. Taurus, I'm going to get all these cards shuffled back up, and we're going to deal out some new ones for you for 2023. We're talking about where each of these planets, these slow-moving large planets, they're all going to be changing signs, where those are going to be happening for you, in which house if you are Taurus rising. All right, so I'm going to shuffle these up. So for Taurus, you have Jupiter moving into your 12th house. You have Pluto moving into your 10th house, and you have Saturn moving into your 11th house. So let's talk about what that all could mean for you. Well, Jupiter moving into your 12th, you'll be expanding the areas in which you find spirituality and growth in a big way. Maybe you're taking a trip to India. Maybe you're going to a new church or something to that degree, or you may be learning more about spirituality as it relates just quietly with your own inner life. And Jupiter's going to be showing you those things throughout the year, perhaps in somewhat of a rapid fashion. So get ready for it. And then Pluto is going to be moving into your 10th house. So there could be some changes in letting go as it pertains to how you make your way in the world professionally. So perhaps there could be some job changes coming up, maybe multiple ones here over the next, anywhere from 1 to 15 years from now. So, no rush on making major decisions. If you feel like, oh my gosh, there's going to be so much happening here, just taking things one step at a time. I know you're excellent at that, Taurus. So making sure you're not feeling stuck, though. If you're going too slow, you may have these planets start to nudge you along here so that you can make those changes that you need. And with Saturn moving into your 11th house, you may find that there's new communities and new places where you can volunteer and be more of a humanitarian. And Saturn could be teaching you about friendships that may or may not work for you at this time. So you could find some changes with your groups of people. Maybe you're finding new small groups to hang out with. Perhaps those could be more spiritual groups, or maybe just new people that you want to work with on a professional level. Bottom of the deck, when I got the Temperance card. It's going to take some patience, though. Okay, we're going to take a main energy for 2023, and then winter, spring, summer, and fall for our Tauran family here. All right, so let's look at the main energy as I'm pulling the other cards. Very cool. I love this main energy for you. We have the 8 of Pentacles. We've got the busy beaver. And, with Pluto creating this opportunity of letting go and of death and transformation in your 10th house, it may feel like a lot of work. I mean, it may literally have to do with your job. It could have to do with how you're making money. Maybe you're having to put in some extra work because things did change for you in such a way. Or it could be even something as general as you're retiring and won't be having to worry as much about work because now your plans, your methodical plans are coming to fruition. But it looks like a really practical year for Taurus. All right, so what do we have for the winter time? For the winter time, we have the 7 of Cups. Our spring energy is the Universe card. That's been coming out for people. Your summer energy is the Star card. And the fall energy we have for you is the Spirit of Cups, which is the King of Cups. Let's see what else we have, and we'll talk about it in detail. The Moonology card I have for you is a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra, which will be in October. And it could also possibly be an eclipse. I haven't looked into that much detail, but our eclipses are going to be moving into the Aries and Libra axis, which will be a nice change for Taurus, who's had all of the eclipse energy happening in your sign. You do in your sign or your 7th house of Scorpio, but that is going to be moving on here. So that North Node will no longer be in your sign, which may feel like you've put in so many changes, and now it's more like easygoing. Now we're going to be just kind of letting the universe guide us in such a way. Maybe not so many obvious changes. All right, so the archetype card I have for you is Seeker. All right, be seeking out all sorts of stuff this year. And then the I Ching card I have is number 38, Diverging Interests or Opposition. Your animal spirit card is Cheetah. And the romance angel I have is Trust. So what does all this mean for Taurus? Well, at the beginning of the year, it may just feel like you have a lot of options. You may not be exactly sure which one is the right one. It could feel a little confusing. You may feel like there's only one right answer, but there seems to be a lot of options around. Maybe you're dating online and this is kind of a new thing for you. You may or may not like it, or you just have choices that need to be made. And in needing to make a choice, we want to do so consciously in the best fashion so that it works for us in the long run. If you have 7 options, it's only really going to be one that's going to be for you. So slowing down and looking at your options in a way that if you feel a little confused, you'll at least say to yourself, okay, I'm going to meditate on the best possible outcome. And so asking the universe to help you, I guess, seek out which the best option is going to be will be nice. And then there'll be less confusion after this energy subsides a little bit. You could be having Neptune work with you and it could just feel dreamier, or could be looking to your dreams for some answers. On the Seeker card, it says, thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. Shadow attribute, inability to commit to a path once found. So once you make your decision, sticking to your plan, I think will help bring something to completion. Maybe there have been a lot of things on your plate and you're just going to start wrapping them up. Perhaps if you're in school right now, this could mean a graduation time for you in the spring. It could mean like all of these lessons that you've had with Saturn in the 10th as they pertain to work are now going to be wrapping up because Saturn's going to be moving into your 11th. And that just may feel like, oh, a relief. Like it could be a little bit easier having Saturn in your 11th as opposed to your 10th house. And then, Jupiter is going to be expanding your world on the inside in more of a spiritual way. And so anything that may have felt confusing at the beginning of the year is really going to settle into some good, positive patterns for you. And then at that point, you're going to be somewhat following the breadcrumbs of life to bring some healing to your world, and maybe getting a wish that you had wanted at the beginning of the year. You're going to have to wait a little longer for something to complete, and then you will get that wish, that completion, that thing that you've been hoping for. So having hope throughout the beginning of this year, because the summertime is really going to be a very positive time for you. You could be connecting with an Aquarius in the summertime, or maybe a fixed sign earlier in the year. However, I feel like Jupiter is just going to be doing some healing work for you. And Pluto is going to be helping you determine how you want to make your way into the world as things change. And Saturn's going to be bringing those groups and opportunities to you for making those shifts. And by the end of the year, It may feel like you've really figured out your emotions. You may, at the beginning of the year, like we said, have a little confusion, but then by the end of the year, you're going to be very sure of how you feel in a way that you're going to be able to express it better to others, and or just control your emotions in a way that, say, you've been a little up and down. At the end of the year, you are definitely going to be feeling ready to decide who you want to give your love to communicate with people that maybe need some help on an emotional level, perhaps that you're going to be somewhat of a counselor to somebody. Either way, when people look at you, they're going to say, wow, they've gone through all these positive changes. They really seem to have their head and their heart on the same page, moving forward in a way that's going to bring more joy from the inside out, which is beautiful. And speaking of things moving from the inside out, we have the cheetah card here where the sun is just going to be radiating through you. Maybe you're going to be running a lot this year, excuse me. Maybe you're going to be running a lot this year. But the speed at which the year is working for you, if it seems a little nerve-wracking, like, oh, things are going so quickly, that's okay. It's so you can learn to work with this solar energy as it pertains to your personal power. So let's read a little bit here about the cheetah card. It says solar force, action, achievement, masculine energy. When in balance, achieves anything, boundless energy. When out of balance, impatient, competitive. Bring into balance, reconnect to purpose. So really knowing what that inner purpose is for you is going to be something that's ongoing throughout the year to help keep that energy moving forward so you don't feel stagnant. The cheetah is the epitome of the solar forces at work. The sun doesn't shine onto the cheetah. It shines from the inside, this great creature, and expands outward to brighten the universe. To brighten the universe. We have the universe card here. The energy within a cheetah personality is palpable to others, and they naturally attract an audience to bear witness to their remarkable achievements. Purpose and passion are the best fuel for a cheetah's forward momentum. So if you're lacking in those areas, reconnect to the why before you start running, which I don't think is going to be a big challenge for Taurus. I do think you really know your purpose, but making sure that you aren't getting distracted as other people may not know what their purpose is, and being a good leader and working hard at any of those things that you're putting your mind to. It says here, a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. So you could be meeting somebody new. You could be setting your goals on new things as they pertain to Venus, your ruling planet, which also rules Libra. Could be a new start for money. You could be completing some kind of a court situation. Perhaps if you were married and you did go through a divorce and now that's over with, you may be meeting somebody new and starting a new relationship. And or just new friendships. Could be just new people that bring this balance and harmony to you. We did have that temperance card at the beginning, and so we do see the scales in that card as well. So let's read a little bit about number 38, diverging interests, and also we'll talk a bit about this trust card. But let's look up number 38. All right, number 38 says this. Diverging interests. Fire above, lake below. Some level of estrangement is indicated. For example, when brothers and sisters choose partner and marry, they often grow apart since their allegiances prioritize new families. Though they will remain close enough to deal with problems and interests related to their original family, they are less likely to undertake great projects together. Simply put, when people grow apart, even for the most natural reasons, their points of view, values, interests, and schedules diverge. Different natures and interests bring opposition into the world of human affairs. If opposition drifts into alienation and anonymity, good results are few, if at all. But when opposition takes the form of healthy competition, or when it is recognized as part of the natural order of things, good fortune is still possible for the relationship, which may mean your relationship's going to go through a healing cycle this year. When diverging interests make a situation seem stagnant or futile, remember that there are always creative possibilities in inherent polarities. One is reminded of the interplay of opposites, yin and yang, which is fundamental to life itself. As the symbol of Tao illustrates, the yin and yang each have the seed of the other residing within them. If opposition has its roots in issues of principle, you must hold on to your integrity and individuality. Let go of vulgar or self-absorbed people who do not share your values. With both people and companies, one measure of stature is the quality of one's competition. So just seeing who is around you, who's spurring you on and helping you stay in this forward-moving, light-seeking mindset. And overall, it says this situation is calling for you to have faith. So whatever that means to you, that deeper trust in the universe, that deeper trust in your own decision-making process, and having the patience it takes to see the story through to the end. All right. Excellent, Taurus. I wish you a lovely 2023. Next up, we're going to be moving on to Gemini. Gemini, we're talking about some of these major ingresses that are going to be happening in 2023. The first one that we had was the Jupiter that has just ingressed into Aries on December 21st. And then we have Saturn ingressing into Pisces on March 8th and Pluto ingressing into Aquarius on March 24th. So what does that mean for you? You're going to have Jupiter, the planet of expansion and good fortune, moving into your 11th house. So that may already be working for you. You could be finding that you're just meeting new friends and you're getting involved with new opportunities in your community. You may be feeling a sense of wanting to be more of a humanitarian. Perhaps you're going to be saving the oceans this year or something very lovely in that regard. Bottom of the deck, when I cut, I've got the 8 of Pentacles. I'm going to take a main energy for 2023, one for the winter, one for the spring, one for the summer, and one for the fall. And let's grab a couple of these oracle cards for you. So then you're going to have Pluto working in your 11th house. And then, you're going to have, it wants to be that one. You're going to have Jupiter working in your 11th house. And then you're going to have Pluto working in your 9th house. More of that spirituality, higher learning, and travel and all things Sagittarian. I'm going to take this one for you. So how is that going to work for Gemini? Well, you may be embarking on just signing up for some new classes. You may decide that there's a lot of new stuff that you want to learn here. And how is that going to be positively benefiting you? Well, in the long run, that could bring about a new job. It can bring about new experiences, new travel opportunities. You may also feel just more wisdom in general, more spiritual wisdom coming into your world. Let's take a Moonology card, and then we'll read what we have here. So also, you're going to have Saturn moving into your 10th house on March 8th, and that may mean that you're just going to be looking for a new job, or you could be, getting some more like managerial type work sent to you. If it's not a new job, maybe you're getting a raise or you're getting a promotion. Either way, it's going to be about some hard work, and Saturn's going to be there guiding you in all of those areas. Some may be more challenging than others. So let's see what we have here for Gemini for 2023. The main energy I have for you is the Spirit of Cups, the King of Cups. The winter energy I have for you is Death. The spring energy is Innocence of Wands. The summer energy, we have Heart of Pentacles. And the fall energy I have is the Earth Mother, the Empress card. Let's look at all the cards and then we'll talk about each one individually. This one just jumped out. This is the I Ching card I have is Conflict. The Animal Spirit card I have is Firefly for Gemini for 2023. Your Romance Angel is Give Your Relationship a Chance, Work on Your Partnership. The Archetype card I have is Hedonist. And the Moonology card I have is Bring Love into the Situation, New Moon in Aquarius. All right. What is all of this going to be meaning for Gemini for 2023? And how are you going to be consciously creating in this new year based on all of these energies? Well, starting out the year, we're going to have some divinely guided changes. This can be that Pluto moving into your ninth house. This is you may also be connecting with a Scorpio type. Either way, this could be actual death, but it may also be just transformation on a deeper level, things that you're having to let go of so you can let them transform. Just like in the fall and in the winter time, we see all the trees dying, just or not dying, but all the leaves falling off the trees, just so that new leaves can grow in the springtime. And yes, some plants don't last throughout the winter, but the idea is that we're going to be planting anew in the spring. We're going to be letting things go in the wintertime so that you have a chance for newness in the spring. So letting go of those old stories, letting go of anything that no longer serves you as far as how you feel about yourself, and past situations that just need to be changed, released, or transformed. So it doesn't have to be literal. It could be, but it could very well just be you creating new change for the new year by letting go of past habits. Like maybe you're quitting smoking, maybe you're quitting drinking, maybe you decide to go to the gym every day now, maybe you're not going to go out to eat anymore because you want to save money for to buy a new house, and so you're going to be cooking at home. I mean, all of these types of things can be part of this card. So see what those happen for you, and don't be afraid to let go of the old in order to move into the new either. And then in the springtime, it looks like a little bit more playful and flirty energy. You may also be connecting with a fire sign like a Sagittarius, Leo, or an Aries. Either way, this is you coming back to your fun, flirty self. It's getting closer to your birthday time at this point. So you may just feel more energetic, more like yourself. You could be connecting with some loved ones or having some fun. So if anything felt heavy at the beginning of the year or a little difficult to get your feet off the ground, then don't worry. The springtime things will be speeding up. That's the time in which we're going to have Saturn moving in from your 8th house to your 9th house, which, this is 8th house. This could feel more like 9th house. So you'll feel a shift in the spring. It won't be the same old storyline. It's going to be something new. So something new with Saturn and Pluto may feel like you're just more of a kid at heart in the springtime. Things are going to be warming up. You may be planning something fun, some kind of a small trip or adventure, or you could be learning something new. Let's talk a bit about the overall energy, though, before we get too far ahead. The overall energy we have is the King of Cups. So this year you could be connecting with a water sign male, but you also may be working on your emotions in such a way that now you have complete control over them. Somebody may not even be able to tell how you're feeling. You may be having a bad day, but you have a smile on your face because you have learned how to control your emotions on a deeper level, in which you can help in a good way. You could be kind of the emotional counselor for others, or that you could be getting somebody that's helping you in this fashion. And what does that mean? That means that it could be more joy just coming out of feeling good on the inside. And this may be a decision that you have to make. Say, hey, I don't want to be maybe in a sad place, or I've let go of some stuff. And so I'm just going to keep a good head on my shoulders. I'm going to connect my head with my heart. And that's going to allow me to feel deeper and to share my emotions and maybe be a little bit more vulnerable. Either way, being able to speak from the heart and have control of that in which is affecting you on an emotional level. And why is that good? Well, that's going to help you with your self-confidence. It's going to help you be more successful in life. We've got the Heart of Pentacles for the summertime for you. So this is just you really could be connecting with an earth sign feel, but really feeling grounded, feeling like your hard work and energy is making you money in ways that you feel more self-secure. And with Saturn moving into your 10th house, for those of you that may be starting a new job or having some new challenges at work, maybe this is you getting that management position and getting some extra money, and now you can buy those things for yourself. that you didn't think you can afford before. And what's that going to do towards the end of the year? Well, it's just going to be going up from there. You're moving from, these are very similar energies here, this grounded feminine energy in which you feel successful, you've given birth to your pain. Maybe you've had a child, you're becoming a grandparent, or you're connecting more with your mother or maternal energies. And that can make you just feel more complete, more whole as a person, more beautiful, more loving. And there you have more love and energy to give to those in your family or your close circle. So I think it really does sound beautiful, Gemini. At the bottom of the deck, I do have the star card. So I did want to mention that could be a year of hope and healing for you. So keep your head up no matter what. Let's talk a bit about this archetype card. I think this one's fun. The heat in this card we have, it says, inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life. Celebrate beauty in yourself. Really celebrating beauty. And then it says here, shadow attributes, pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. So, yeah, maybe you're sharing some delicious foods with your lover, or you're engaging in more of a deep sexual connection, or you're feeling like you just want to have the things that make you feel good in life. Well, I think that's going to be well supported, because we have this Taurus female who does get what she deserves, and she does have that beauty surrounding her. So don't be afraid to wish big. Don't be afraid to seek out pleasure this year. I think that is definitely in the cards for you. It says, give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. And I'm curious how this is going to mash up with the conflict card, which we'll read about here in a second. So if there is any difficulty working on it, working through it with your partner, not to end the relationship, but to make it that much better. All right, let's read about the animal spirit card here. We have is the firefly. And I should say, as we're talking about your relationships, and it says bring love into the situation, these are going to be maybe some people that are a little bit harder to love this year, that you're going to have to give attention to. Maybe other people are being different and you want to be different too. And by being different and loving yourself, you can love others who are now trying to find their own unique path. So seeing how that works for you. Let's see here. We have the Firefly card, which is an air card, much like Gemini. Let's see here. It says, inspired and fantastic, yet fleeting. When in balance, writes, creates, brainstorms. When out of balance, burnout, feels dull. Bring into balance, write a poem or a draw. The firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. It is pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high frequency charge cannot be sustained for long. Therefore, the firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we do not catch it. There is a firefly energy behind every poem, song, and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness this creative spirit when it graces our path. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? And as you have Pluto moving into your 9th house, it could mean that you do feel more inspired to learn, more inspired to share, more inspired to gain extra wisdom so that things don't feel as fleeting. Let's talk a bit about this little conflict card that we have here and see how that can bring everything together for you for this year. All right. I think this one's beautiful. I love it. Sky above, water below. Conflict often arises when a person who is convinced that they are entitled to something meets with opposition. In such cases, the wise choice is not to push things to the bitter end, because knocking heads perpetuates ill will. Creative solutions that meet others halfway are more valuable and long-lasting than victories achieved through force. Conflicts in which one party is not sincere inevitably leads to subterfuge and disorientations. In such situations, those of strong character keep a clear head, protect their integrity, and look out for their own interests, even while seeking compromise. It can help to find a fair-minded mediator who can settle these matters. In times of conflict and turmoil, New ventures and new initiatives should be avoided. Instead, examine the sincerity of your current beliefs and the beliefs of those around you. Seek advice or arbitration from an impartial and mature person. Consider everything carefully before making any major decisions. Consider the option of compromise. Clarify the roles and responsibilities of those with whom you live and work to reduce conflict in the future. And I really like how it talks about your beliefs, because Pluto is going to be transforming those for you. And as it pertains to others, as Saturn's working in your 10th house, it is going to be a good idea to have any internal conflict that you have on your inside resolved. And that's going to make your relationships more loving as you bring more love into the situation in 2023. All right. Good luck with all that. And Happy New Year, Gemini. Next up, we're going to be moving on to Cancer. Cancer, we are talking about the major ingresses of some of these slower moving planets in 2023. And for you, that is going to be Jupiter moving into your 10th house, Pluto moving into your 8th house, and Saturn moving into your 9th house. Now, based on your rising sign and your angles, all of these may not happen in 2023. But if we're talking general whole sign houses, then let's discuss what those things mean for you. So I'm going to do some shuffling. Let's talk about Jupiter first. With Jupiter moving into your 10th house, it could mean some new and positive work opportunities. I'm going to take these two cards just flipped out when we talk. So let's see what we have. We have the Movement of Pentacles and we have the Four of Pentacles. I'm going to keep shuffling, but how those relate to you and how those relate to Jupiter is could just be slow, methodical steps in which you're saving money and saving your power up for something bigger and better. And so I don't know if you're going to be walking away from a job or if you're going to be just entering into new money-making opportunities, but either way, just take one step at a time. You don't necessarily need to rush into things. And holding back where you need to save money may be smart if there are changes going on in your area of life which you make money. Bottom of the deck, I've got the 10 of Cups when I cut. So hoping for that beautiful, emotionally fulfilling year. We do have your full moon coming up here right at the beginning of the year. That is later this week. We've got, let's see here, which, we're talking about the whole year. So we're starting it off feeling good. And we've got a main energy. We've got a winter, spring, summer, and fall. I will say at the bottom of the deck, I've got the Two of Cups that may have to relate with partnerships as a whole in this year for you. So let's talk about the other planets. So then you have Pluto moving into your 8th house of death, transformation, and letting go. So Pluto also talks a lot about power. So how are you working with your power right now? And Pluto has been in your 7th house, teaching you about relationships, teaching you about that Two of Cups, but it's going to be moving into an area of life where you aren't going to have as much control. It's just things are going to be leaving and things are going to be starting, and you're just going to have to work with more of the unknown energy on a deeper level. Okay, I'm going to take a I Ching card for you, and then I'm going to take an animal spirit card. Let's see what the main energy is for you for 2023. The main energy I have for Cancer is the Heart of Pentacles. That is the Queen of Pentacles. So could be feeling more grounded this year. Could be connecting with an earth sign female that could be teaching you about being grounded and about feeling good about your money and your finances and your practicalities in this world, and any of that slow growth and that slow wisdom could be paying off in an actual monetary way. So it could be a good year for money for Cancer this year. Let's see here. I'm going to take an archetype card for Cancer, and then we just have one more. We got going to take a romance angel. All right. So If you are Cancer rising, then you will have Jupiter moving into your 10th, Pluto moving into your 8th, and Saturn moving into your 9th. So Saturn could be teaching you more about that higher wisdom, that higher learning, spirituality, and maybe even some travel here. So could be some fun travel opportunities for Cancer this year. Your winter energy, starting out the year, we have Sky Father, which is the Emperor card. Moving into the spring, we have the Eight of Wands. For Cancer for the summer, we have the Movement of Wands. And wrapping up the year this fall, we have the Five of Wands. Let's see what else we have, and then we'll talk more in detail. Your I Ching card I have is number 45. We'll talk more a bit about that in a minute. It's written in French. So then your romance angel is let your friends help you, ask for and accept support for others. This is nice. Your archetype card is Goddess. Love that. That's very beautiful. The moon card I have is show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. I'm getting a lot of Aquarian cards. I think that is talking of this Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is going to feel very different than how it's felt with Pluto in Capricorn. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then your animal spirit card is Panther, which I feel like this is going to be relating more to Pluto moving into your 8th. There's going to be some purging, letting go, things of that nature. We'll read more about it here in a minute. So how does this year look like it's going to work out for Cancer? Well, with your overall energy being the Heart of Pentacles, you're definitely going to be putting in some hard work to get the rewards that you deserve this year. You may already have started that. This Jupiter moving into your 10th house is going to be giving you new opportunities to make money and to grow in a competent way, working on your investments, staying grounded, being practical, and feeling good and looking good at the same time. So I think all of that's going to be very lovely for your whole year. And at the beginning of the year, we have Sky Father. This, for me, really does feel like Jupiter moving into Aries. This is the Aries card, but this is also like the architect, the builder, the one in charge, the fiery leader that people want to follow because they're inspired and they have wisdom to share with others. And as Cancer, I really feel like you are the architect of the zodiac. And so what is it that you're going to be building this year? What new containers of life are you going to be providing for yourself and for others? What spaces are you going to be transforming in a way where you're feeling really confident and you're feeling you're on top of your game, and you have people that want to follow you, not because you're telling them to, but because you have such a magnetic energy that people want to be near you and experiencing that similar feeling that you have. So definitely confident. You could also be connecting with an Aries or maybe another business owner, or this could be you starting a business of sorts. So that sounds like a really exciting winter time. And as you move into spring, there could be travel and communication coming up for you. Things may just be moving very quickly. We're going to have all planets direct, all planets go here shortly before the springtime. And that's going to be feeling like a lot of fast moving energy. This also could be the rods of love. So you may just have a lot of excitement. You may be planning for a trip. You could be traveling at this time. Either way, there's going to be a lot of communication coming in. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fast moving. So get ready for it. Get ready for that. And then get ready for more fun, fast moving energy. If, say, you were single, you're going to be doing some dating here over the summertime. The movement of wands, the Knight of Wands is could be connecting with a fire sign. You could be connecting with a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. But that is just going to be this fun, flirty, outgoing energy in which you want to go and experience the world in a way that you aren't feeling like you're held back, that you aren't feeling like there's anything wrong with just having a good time, and you're enjoying those new people that you're meeting, and you're enjoying getting out and dating. And if last year felt a little stagnant, this year is going to be moving forward quickly. And if you are dating, just watch out, because there could be some competition. This competitive nature as it comes towards the end of the year could just help drive you forward even more. Maybe you're starting a new sport this year, and now you finally trained and you're ready to get out there and get going on it. And maybe you're going to be winning some, and maybe you're going to be losing some, but you're definitely going to be playing the game and being involved, which is great. So no sitting on the sidelines for Cancer this year. You're going to be one of the active participants, and maybe you will find a little jealousy at the end of the year. But all in all, it's going to be a very fiery, inspired year for Cancer. I see a lot of creativity coming in, and I see you building that which is going to make you happy, which is going to be the container to hold all of this great energy. And other people may be looking at you like you're the competition because you've had so much positive success this year. I love it. Well, you know, some of that doesn't come without challenges, right? Maybe the challenge is to love those odd sides of yourself. Maybe your idea for business is a little out of the box, but Pluto's going to be teaching us how to be more out of the box in a way that we feel inspired to be different, that we don't have to be like everybody else. It says, show the world the real you. We're going to have this Aquarius full moon in the summertime. So you're going to be out there having fun and enjoying life and meeting new people. And you may just feel more like yourself than you ever have in a long time. And then there go those worries. There go those things that you have to let go of as Pluto moves in. You're going to just be rocking it, I feel. And what does that mean? Other people are going to be looking at you like you are rocking it, because you've got the Goddess card here. The Goddess card says, light attribute, the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So really looking beautiful. If you're a male or a female, you could be wearing some new sexy clothes. You could be drawing in lovers. You're like, my love life was a little stagnant maybe, and now it's like, whoo, I gotta fight them off. There's gonna be a lot of communication coming in. And it says here, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept for support from others. So if you need to make some decisions about where you're gonna go next, what you're gonna do with all this competition, let your friends help you. Maybe you're gonna be on a team. Maybe you're gonna be on a competitive team. Perhaps you're signing up for basketball or volleyball, or you're starting a new dance class or something in which you may be somewhat of a newbie. And so it's good to have a bit of that jealousy, so you know you can get there yourself. Oh, wow, that person's really talented. I want to be there as well. So I'm going to get the support from those around me so that I can be the best version of myself. Let's talk a bit about this Panther card. In my animal spirit card, it is, Panther is a fire element, so more fire. You hadn't had enough fire this year, there's going to be more of it. All right. It says, ooh, interesting. It says, annihilation of the unnecessary. Well, that's bold. Purging. When in balance, brave, productive. When out of balance, self-destructive. I'm going to read that one more time. It says, when in balance, brave, productive. When out of balance, self-destructive. Bring into balance, get rid of the unnecessary. The Panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives, causing all kinds of havoc with the ultimate intention of bringing us towards more fulfilling lives. So it can be some of that Pluto energy for you. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating. But after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the Panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the Panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. And Saturn's going to be working with you in your 9th house. You're going to be learning new ways of handling energy. You're going to be expanding in new ways and in travel and learning new cultures and such. So there will be just old ways that just don't fit anymore. And it's fine to let those go. We don't want to be self-destructive. We'd rather get rid of the unnecessary, which is going to allow for some braveness so that you can deal with any of that competition or challenges as they work with you this year. So last card, read about number 45 of the I Ching to wrap up the reading for Cancer. All right, 45 says, gathering together, lake above, earth below. The power of gathering together is represented by a rally where each individual's strength is magnified by the collective power of a community. For instance, history has shown that mass movements can bring about stable, ordered, and durable conditions for the better. This reading may be pointing to an auspicious time for a large group event or undertaking. The guiding force of shared vision is essential to align unified forces and keep your people advancing towards a common goal. Just another image is that of a lake or basin filling with water. Just as the fullness of the lake can bring good fortune to all its realm, it can also overflow, leading to disaster. In a time of gathering together, it is essential that precautions against unforeseen dangers can be considered, along with efforts to advance the common goal along a clearly charted course. Much of human misfortune comes from unexpected events for which we are ill prepared. In gathering together with others, we are more powerful, even if in some ways we are also more vulnerable. Any time of gathering together is a time of potentially great power, which can either be positive or negative. Everything is magnified when masses of people join together for a single purpose. When many people unite behind a single goal or strong vision, it is wise to take personal precautions, protecting your reasonable self-interest, because these can easily be lost in the melee of the crowd. I don't really feel like I'm worried about Cancer being lost in the crowd, but do be mindful of who you're working with this year, and when you're gathering together, how your energy works in a group element. And don't forget to be that beautiful goddess that you are and let your friends help you this year. All right. I love it, Cancer. Have a beautiful 2023. Next up, we're going to be moving on to Leo. Leo, let's talk about where these big planets are going to be moving into your houses for those who are Leo rising. Let's see here. We have Jupiter moving into your 9th house. We've got Pluto moving into your 7th house, and we have Saturn moving into your 8th house. So what does all this mean? Well, Jupiter just moved into Aries at the beginning, on December 21st, right at the end of the year. And so at the beginning of the year, we have Pluto starting out in Aries, which is your 9th house. So you may be feeling like you're ready to expand in areas of new learning, and you may be wanting to expand more of your religious philosophies. You may be learning about different cultures right now. You may be determining maybe some higher wisdom that you want to gain based on going back to school or getting some kind of new education. Then we have Pluto moving into your 7th house, and inevitably that is going to help you learn to transform your relationships to be a more healthy for you. So that may mean some relationships end and some new ones begin, but either way, it's such a slow moving energy, and it may not begin for you right away just based on where your marker is if you are Leo rising. So, but just talking whole sign houses, Pluto will be moving into your 7th, and then Saturn moving into your 8th is going to be teaching you about letting go and about deepening. Hold on just a second. I just cut the deck. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. All right, so bottom of the deck when I cut, I've got the Innocence of Pentacles. I'm going to take a main energy, a winter, spring, summer, fall. Okay. All right, so Pluto working with your 7th house and Saturn working with your 8th house. So could be working on letting go on a deeper level and figuring out what it is on your innermost heart that you need to transform in order to have closer connections with others. And then also you may be learning about just some deeper sides of life. Perhaps you're going to be delving into your insurance coverage. Perhaps you're going to having to deal with your taxes, or just interesting things that can be ruled by the ideas of death and taxes. So Could be just learning to transform those areas in which you may have felt somewhat stagnant. Okay, so I've got a Moonology card. I've got an Animal Spirit card. I've got your I Ching card. I'm going to take a Romance Angel. We're almost done getting the cards here. So yeah, I think it's really going to feel different for you this year than it has in years past, especially getting Saturn out of your seventh house. That how it's been transforming relationships for you may have just been maybe just be over it. I know a lot of people are ready for Saturn to move on into Pisces. So, all right, I think we have everything here. All right, so the main energy that we have for Leo for 2023 is the Three of Pentacles. Your winter energy is going to be the Universe card. This has been pretty popular today. Could be connecting with a fixed sign, but definitely coming to some endings here. Then, ooh, I love it. Your spring energy is going to be the Sun card. Your summer energy is the Ace of Wands. And the fall energy is the Six of Swords. Let's see what else we have here. Your archetype card is Priest. The Romance Angel is Release Your Ex. Interesting. Your Animal Spirit card is the Heart Chakra, Golden Egg. The Moonology card is Work Through Your Fears, New Moon in Scorpio. This has come out a couple times as well. And then, oh, interesting. Your I Ching card is Standstill, number 12. All right, so let's talk about all of this. Let's see what's going on with Leo this year. So, and we're going to be consciously working with these energies. So some of them may not sound as awesome, but you're still going to be consciously working with those. For example, release your ex. This could mean releasing all sorts of different things, but anything that you've tied yourself to that may not be functioning for you anymore, in which it's time to clear your energy. For example, doing so in a way where you're happy to do it. So that's consciously creating with something that may not sound like quite as much fun. So anyway, here we are. The main energy I have for you is the Three of Pentacles. So finding some new teamwork, maybe working on some projects where two heads are better than one, or maybe three heads are better than two. And each time we work as a team, we become stronger in the group as opposed to being just one person working at something where we may not be making as much progress. So this year is going to be talking about finding those teams in which you can accomplish more because you're part of the team. And if that means you have to ask for help in areas where you aren't used to, then that could be part of the challenge, and part of which you're consciously creating what it is and who it is that you want to work with on this level. If you're starting a new job, that could just being on a new team. If you are taking on some tasks in your home, or say you are planning for that trip, or planning for that higher learning, who's going to help you get there? So, and that being a minor arcana, that's really going to be up to you to determine your best team for 2023. But right at the beginning of the year, here we are, we're graduating some kind of old energy. It really is going to be the completion of something you've been working on for a long time. Maybe you have been in school and you're going through some kind of a winter graduation, and now you're ready to start and look for like a new job, or this could be finalizing just some projects that you feel like have been never ending, and feeling new and feeling like you've learned your lessons. And it's like whatever karmic contracts you were involved in previous years, those contracts are coming to an end. So there may have been some big learning cycles that you're like, okay, I get it now. I really do. I don't need the lessons anymore. Saturn moving out of your seventh house can mean that you have learned all you need to learn for the time being about relationships. I mean, just to have then Pluto move in, right? But a little different energy. It's a little less imminent. With Pluto, I feel like you have longer time frames in which to learn. But Saturn's wrapping up, and it's saying what you've learned, you've put in a lot of energy into, and you deserve to graduate now. The tests are going to change. We aren't going to be tested on the same subject matter over and over again. So if you passed your finals, then you don't ever have to take them again. So good job with that. So good job on passing your finals for whatever subject matter you were studying in 2022. And now it's time to celebrate. Here's the Sun card. Here's the most positive card of the whole deck. This is your ruling card, Leo. This is you feeling, I just got the chills. This is you feeling back to your happy self again. Anything that's been difficult, that's been holding you back, that's been creating conflict for you. I even want to say the word collision for whatever reason. So they may have had worlds collide and that may have been awkward. And now it makes sense. Now it's your inner child is rejoicing. You're like, thank God I went through that actually now, because I am so much in a better spot than I was now that I've completed what it was that I came here to complete. That higher lesson that you've learned is going to lead you to bigger and better things. And you've got your spark back, baby. You are not stagnant anymore. You're not stuck in that T-square, that fixed T-square that was going on all the last year and a half, where you had the nodes squaring you along with Saturn and Uranus. That is over with, girl. So, or boy, or whoever I'm talking to. I mean, it is time for you. So time for you. Decide what's going to make your inner child happy. Decide what's going to bring more joy to your life. If you're hanging out with like a younger generation, using that joy to inspire yourself, you're going to feel way more inspired, starting new creative projects. The springtime's going to be very positive for you. And the summertime's going to be about getting your spark back and going out there and deciding where you're going to put your energy. And this could be, it could be a new sexual connection. It could be just a new creative endeavor. It could be maybe starting a business or having the idea to make some plans in an area that's going to be new for you and not being afraid to do it. A lot of courage coming through. Your lioness self is going to be finding the team to help them bring their dreams to fruition, to consciously create that new year in which you deserve this newness. You put in the effort, that's for sure. And by the end of the year, excuse me, pardon me, by the end of the year, it's going to be smooth sailing to calmer waters that you may have never visited before, but you're putting your worries in the boat and you're going to say, I'm off. I'm in a new area. I've absolutely graduated from what happened in 2022. I've absolutely found my spark and my positivity again. And now my thoughts are on a peaceful trajectory, and I'm moving into new waters for myself. I've already gone through hell, and now I'm headed somewhere else. So have fun with that. Let's see what we have for some of the I Ching. Well, you got the priest card here. So that could speak of having that higher philosophy, having Jupiter in your ninth house where you are creating a new philosophy for yourself. It says, facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. This could be you just illuminating others with your positive mind and using that higher frequency to inspire others. Shadow attributes: violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. So not taking the high horse and saying, oh, I know it all, so you should follow me. No, like being more of the gentle and kind leader that we know you can be, in which people are like, wow, they really seem to be shining from the inside out. I would love to be a part of that team with that person who knows themselves so well, who knows their inner philosophy, and they're following it in a way that makes them someone to follow, so to say. But that's not going to necessarily come without any challenges. It says work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. We do have one more round of the the eclipses that are squaring you here in May, but that is going to allow you to release the final fears that you've had, release any of the reasons why not, and be more vulnerable as a person to show your inner self and to, like we said, release. It says the time has come to clear your energy. If there was someone or something, maybe it's your literal ex-wife or your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend that you still haven't really gotten over, that this is the year. You can't start new with baggage. You can't bring baggage into this kind of energy. It's just not going to work. So burning up that old side of yourself, purifying, letting go of jealousy, letting go of holding on to somebody because you're afraid they're going to be happier without you. You're going to be happier with yourself when you let go of that mindset. So it may be challenging to be that way, but it's going to be you listening to your inner side. Your heart's going to be telling you things that you should listen to that maybe you haven't for a while. It's going to say, I don't want to get hurt like that anymore. I'm over it. I've learned my lesson. And so now this message at the center of the heart, this unstruck sound is going to be a message for you. And it'll say that deep within that sound, the sound cannot be heard nor the message discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. Or, creating a new meditation practice for yourself. Either way, your heart chakra is going to be alive this year. And as a Leo, you really do rule a lot of that heart chakra. It says the subtle essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart center at the fourth chakra. This chakra, called Anahata, is the home of the self or soul. By bringing the mind into the center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It is said that our inner guide sits there in deep meditation, waiting for us. So connecting with that which has been waiting for you on the inside. All right, let's read a bit about number 12 to wrap up the reading for Leo for 2023. It says, stand still. Sky above, earth below. In periods of standstill or stagnation, confusion and disorder can prevail. Small-minded and self-serving forces arise when the powers of clarity and creativity are on the decline. The inmates are overrunning the prison and its guards. In such times, summon up your fortitude. Don't shine your light, simply withdraw. The wise take shelter in their own integrity and quietly remain faithful to their principles, retreating from public activities and common exchanges until the time favors direct action. Concentrate on personal affairs with humble dignity, even if that means letting go of some short-term rewards. Desiring to change such situations too quickly creates extra conflict. By accepting some hardship while striving to maintain integrity, you are preparing for future growth. Remember that a seed of prosperity is often hidden inside the husk of misfortune. So that which you're leaving behind is likely going to be the reason for your growth and happiness here soon. So good luck to you, Leo, in 2023. Next up, we're going to be moving on to Virgo. Virgo, let's talk about where these big moving planets are going to be shifting for you in 2023. We have several planets, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, are all changing signs. We just had Jupiter ingress into Aries on December 21st. And for you, Virgo, that is into your 8th house. So let's talk about what that could mean for you as we're expanding with Jupiter, good fortune into the 8th house. It could be easier for you to let go. It could be easier for you to discuss areas of death and transformation. Easy or not, though, these will be the areas in which Jupiter is expanding. You may learn more about the ideas of death and taxes. You could Um, maybe you get a giant tax refund this year, and that's how Jupiter is going to be helping you out. But either way, if you have to let go of people or places or things this year, there's going to be a lot of expansion, and there's going to be a lot of, I would say, spiritual growth this year. Also, you're going to have Pluto moving into your sixth house. And so you understand this sixth house energy because Virgo, you do rule the sixth houses. So it may be working on those deeper health issues. It could be maybe you have a bit of a health crisis, and that's going to make you more healthy in the long run because you get to make some changes. All right, so bottom of the deck, I've got the Innocence of Cups. Just some simple love messages you may be feeling right now. I'm going to take a main energy for 2023, a winter, spring, summer, and fall. Now, let's take one from the archetype deck for Virgo. Oops, it wants to be that one. It immediately flipped over. So now we're going to take a romance angel. So it's going to be this one. And so then Virgo, you have Pluto moving into your sixth, and you have Saturn moving into your seventh house. So Saturn is going to be moving into Pisces, and that is going to be giving you some challenges as it comes to your inner relationships, your partnerships, even perhaps as it deals with people that you work with or business partners. Let's see, we're just missing one. I'm going to get a Moonology card. And so Saturn's going to help you. Your cards just really wanted to jump right out. So must have a very clear message here for Virgo. Saturn is going to be challenging you and helping you to have better relationships here over the next couple years. So being patient with that, but just being open to the changes is one suggestion that I have. All right, and that is for Virgo rising, but in general for Virgo, your main energy for 2023, it's the same as Pisces, which is interesting because you guys are on the same, you guys are opposite each other. You share your same axis. So Seven of Swords is your main energy for 2023. Speaking of Pisces, your energy for the winter is the High Priestess card. For the spring, we have the Four of Wands, beautiful. For the summertime, we have the Six of Pentacles. And for the fall, we have the Innocence of Wands. So that's 2 pages for you. So it could be a learning cycle for you this year. You could be connecting with children. Let's read a little bit more about what the archetype cards are, and then we will discuss this in detail. Your moon card, oh, I love it. Here you are, new moon in Virgo. It's a time to give rather than to take. You're so helpful to others. So this is going to be a year where others are going to be helpful to you. You can at least try to let them do that. Oh, interesting. So your I Ching card is number 64. It's the last I Ching card of the deck. It's considered to be, I think it's after completion. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Your animal spirit card is the buffalo. Your romance angel is retreat. And your archetype card is poet. So let's talk about how all of this is going to create a beautiful year that you're going to consciously manifest with the universe for 2023. Well, like we talked about, the main energy is going to be the Seven of Swords. So there could be some things that you just kind of want to ghost, that you just want to let go of, that you're like, I used to go all the time. Now I just am not going to go anymore. Or I used to hang out with that person a lot, and now I just don't feel like calling them anymore. Or this may be happening to you, but it also may mean that you aren't being completely honest, or others may not be completely honest with you about why something is over, or being honest and trustworthy about maybe why they aren't telling the truth. But I would just watch out for any suspicious activity. If you're in a partnership, certainly being faithful to your partner is going to be important. Also, others being faithful to you. If that's not occurring, you may need to leave something. However, this may be you just coming into understanding yourself better on a deeper way. And as it deals with partnerships, if you have Saturn in your seventh, This is a 7. We may feel like there are some extra challenges in which we have to be honest, when maybe it'd be easier just to not say anything and not answer the phone or something to that regard. But either way, you could be feeling just a little secretive at the beginning of the year. There may be times in which you need to just deeply follow your intuition. You still have Neptune in your 7th house and could be creating a little bit of confusion, but as it relates to your relationships, you could be connecting with a Pisces at the beginning of the year, or you're just spending some alone time to find your inner wisdom and to find that inner voice that's going to be giving you the hints throughout the year. So connect with your intuition at the beginning of the year, and then you won't have to worry about who's being honest with you and who's not, because you're going to be connected to that voice that's going to tell you right away, this is or this isn't good for me. So that's a positive thing. Could be looking into some more spiritual studies for yourself, and also just enjoying some quiet wisdom. So enjoy that. As we move on into the springtime, it's going to be a party at your house. Maybe you could be building a home. Maybe that's what the big secret is that you're going to be moving into a new house and you don't want anyone to know about it yet. So maybe you aren't being honest with everybody that you're going to leave, and then you do in fact leave. And then here you are starting new, celebrating, and 4 walls. This could be a wedding. Maybe you are going to get married. Maybe you're going to elope and you don't want anyone to know about it. But if there is a surprise wedding in store for you this spring, I wish you luck. Either way, it looks like there's going to be some beautiful flowers growing in your garden. There's going to be new growth happening within the 4 walls that bring you joy, connecting with family, enjoying creativity as it pertains to finally feeling like you have what you deserve here. So it could have been taking some strategy to get there. And if you need to be strategic to get there, just do what you got to do, I guess, right? This summertime, we're going to be moving on to the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles is an equal balance of give and take. And you may be finding that this happens within your work life or within your relationships, that you don't want to accept charity, and you also don't want to overgive. So there's a balance between getting what you deserve and also getting paid what you're worth. So you may be, we have the word, it's time to give rather than to take. It also speaks of self-worth here. So as we move closer into your season, we're going to be finding more of a balance between how we think we should be treated and how we're actually being treated. But either way, being there for others, being there to give of your lighthearted energy, or to be of service of somebody. If there's others that do need something, making sure that you don't overgive, that it's just a balance. Yeah, if you are doing some tasks for others, making sure you're getting paid what you're worth. But either way, going ahead and being there and being the giver that you are, I think is going to help you be in your own energy and in a gentle and generous fashion, I should say. So this new moon is going to be in the September timeframe. So you may just feel like that is going to be a new start for you at this time. Now, with the Buffalo card, let's read a bit about the Buffalo card. I love this card because it speaks of, instead of running away from your challenges, running through them, basically. Like the buffalo, if there is a storm, it does not run away from the storm. It runs into it to shorten its duration. So if there's some challenges, just literally facing them head on. Facing the challenges head on so that you can get through them faster. We're going to have Chiron connecting with Jupiter, and that's going to be in your 8th house. So maybe at that time, things may feel a little bit more challenging, but keeping your head on straight and knowing what's fair and balanced for you may help you if there is some things you have to move through. Let's see here. we're trying to find the buffalo. Here we are, buffalo for Virgo. Grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. Sounds very Virgo-esque. The hooves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth, yet its heart and mind rise towards heaven. The buffalo sees challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eyes look to the road ahead, trusting every turn. May we all experience this elusive yet life-changing bliss from time to time. And may we allow this card to remind us that life is a precious gift. And so as Pluto's moving into your 6th house, and you may be dealing with some of those topics of illness or death or misfortune, or even as you have Saturn in the 8th, we're going to see it as a precious gift. When in balance, trusting pure presence. When out of balance, restless, lacks gratitude, bring into balance prayer or bhakti. So as you wrap up the summertime and you move into the fall, I think things are going to lighten up and it's going to be more playful for you. And you are also going to probably feel a little bit more flirty, a little bit more fun, like you want to go out and enjoy some travel or some time. You may be connecting with a young fire sign like a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries towards the end of the year. But I feel like once you move through any challenges, then you will have time to do this retreat thing. It says it's time to disconnect from the world, to go within, to be the inner Virgo, to be the hermit is probably going to feel pretty good at some point this year. And to get away from it all, to spend some time in nature with a loved one or on your own, as long as it is a balanced energy in which you are feeling positive around your surroundings, then I think that can bring a lot of fun for the future. So your archetype card here says poet, expresses soul insights in symbolic language. Shadow attribute turns a lyric gift into a negative or destructive effect. So just, watching for your words, finding some brainstorming time, writing those experiences down, and then sharing them with others in a beautiful way that expresses your soul insight through symbolic language. So you know what that means for you, but it could even have to do with listening to music or finding those lyrics that fit your life that you will be guided by this year. So let's read number 64. The last card of the deck, it says nearing completion. The situation is complete, but the chaos of the past is giving way to order. The goal is in sight. Nevertheless, you are still treading on thin ice. Though the way ahead is unobstructive and the goal is clear, a cautious and careful attitude is still important lest you slip and fall. Nearing completion is the last hexagram of the I Ching. It suggests that the ever-spinning wheel of life never reaches a final conclusion. Just as hidden sadness resides in the heart of true euphoria, just as seeds of amazing achievement can sprout from the cauldron of adversity, no end is ever really complete without a new beginning stirring inside it. We may divide life into categories to understand and manage it, but experience itself is seamless. The Tao's 64-spoked time wheel of change is ready to spin onward. Ever evolving, ever staying the same. The situation represented by this reading can be compared to taking a lengthy trek over a high mountain. At some point before reaching the peak, you can see in detail exactly how much farther you have to travel. You will have a good idea of what it will take to reach the top because of the climbing experience you have accumulated thus far. However, when you do reach the peak, which has been in sight for quite a long period of sustained effort, you will have done only that. You will have reached the top and achieved your initial goal, but you still must descend the other side. This is the last critical segment of what remains before completion. Consider, too, the possibility that you have little information or no experience of what it's like descending the other side of the mountain, because all your attention has been focused on the path going up, much like our buffalo here. The coming situation may seem very strange to you, unlike anything you have experienced before, but the other side of the mountain is where the true mysteries reside. Proceed carefully, cautiously, and alertly, and you will arrive honorably at the completion of your goal. That sounds beautiful. Well, good luck with that this year, Virgo. I wish you a beautiful 2023. Next up, we're going to be moving on to Libra. Libra, let's talk a bit about where all of these energies are going to be moving for you this year. We have 3 major planets that are moving into new signs, starting with Jupiter that just ingressed into Aries on December 21st. Then we also have, so we have that Jupiter that's moved into your 7th house. You also have Pluto that's going to be moving into your 5th house, if we're talking whole sign houses for Libra rising, on March 24th. And then you're going to have Saturn ingressing into Aquarius on, Saturn ingressing into Pisces on March 8th. And that is going to be in your 6th house. So let's talk about what all that means. I'm going to cut the deck. Bottom of the deck when I cut, I've got the 2 of Pentacles. You could be juggling a couple ideas, love or money this year. I'm going to take a main energy for 2023, a winter, spring, summer, and fall. All right. Let's see here. Also, we're going to take one from each of the oracle decks that I have here. Let's start with wants to be that one. We're going to start with that one from the archetype deck. And then for Libra, let's get a Moonology card. There we are. That one flipped over. Let's be that one. Let's get a Romance Angel for Libra for 2023. Just going to shuffle the deck. I'm going to cut the deck. Pull this one, but I also was feeling this one. So we're going to take 2. 2 for Libra, you get 2. I'm telling one. All right. Then let's take an animal spirit card. I'm going to mix these up. Animal spirit card for Libra. So you're going to have Jupiter moving into your 7th house of relationships, which you know a lot about because you rule the 7th house. And so what does that mean for you? Well, it could be a lot of expansion. You could be meeting a lot of new people this year. You could be learning more about how to do relationships in a better way. And you could just be having a lot of luck and good fortune in that way. So I'm excited for you, Libra, for that. You could be meeting new people, but you also could be having partnerships that are going to be very important to you in the future, starting right now. So watch out. Then also we have Pluto moving into your 5th house. So it may be more about the long-term partnerships and less about the short-term romances. As Pluto sweeps through your 5th house, encouraging you to make change in the areas of creativity, of children, of romance, of all things under the sun, all things ruled by the sun. And then you have Saturn moving into your 6th house. So you may just feel like you're ready to commit to a better organizational plan, analyzing things to get things moving in your life as it pertains to health and wellness. And maybe you're cleaning all your closets this year. That sounds like a good plan. We'll see how that goes. All right. So let's see what we have here. The main energy that I have for Libra for 2023 is the 8 of Cups. Interesting. You could be walking away from that which you've previously built in order to find more fulfillment in your private life. Could be spending some more alone time with yourself to find your happiness on the inside, to find your Ace of Cups. During the winter, we have the Tower card. Very interesting. The next card I have for you for the springtime is the Lovers. Talking about that 7th house. The summertime card I have for you is the Heart of Wands, the Queen of Wands. And the fall card I have for you is the 7 of Wands. Interesting energies here. Your I Ching card I have is number 56, the Traveler. The Romance Angel I have for you, I have 2. I have this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. And I also have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Then for your archetype card, I have Monk Nun. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And your animal spirit card I have is Whale. definitely going deep this year. And then this is the same one that we had for Virgo. Even though I shuffled them all, it's a time to give rather than to take. New moon in Virgo for your Moonology card. All right, so what does this all mean for Libra for 2023? Well, at the beginning of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there was some kind of a breakup that you're walking away from. It looks like there's going to be some universally guided changes in which something that may have felt like a house of cards just falls. And instead of being sad picking up the pieces, you're going to be moving on to something that is more fulfilling. So that energy could come in the form of just an unexpected change, or you may be connecting also with some Uranian style energy or Pluto energy. You could be connecting with a Scorpio or somebody else that's going to help with these divinely guided changes. So at the beginning of the year, it may just feel like anything from the past doesn't necessarily apply to the future, because now we are destroying that which does no longer work and building something new. So what are we going to be building that's new? Well, it looks like possibly a new relationship. So this to me means that perhaps there is a relationship that ended and now you're looking at your options. You could have more than one option and you may have to make a decision come springtime. So if the winter was a little challenging, don't worry, things are going to warm up this spring for sure. You could be finding a new soulmate of types. You could be connecting with a Gemini, or you may be also creating relationships in which you learn more about yourself. You may also be meeting somebody that isn't your normal love interest, but then becomes that because they're teaching you more about yourself in a new and different way, in which then you find a match. So seeing how that goes. Maybe some decisions that you have to make, but either way, I see it as a very, very divinely guided positivity as it deals with your relationships. That does speak of having a Jupiter in your 7th house, so I'm excited for you for that. Then in the summertime, you may just be finding creativity in your own inspired way. You could be sharing with others your warm-hearted nature. You may be connecting with a fire sign female. So maybe if you went through this decision-making process, you did decide to go with the fire sign female. Could be a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo at this time. So what does that mean? Well, if you're staying in your own lane and you're being very creative, that's going to bring opportunity to you. You're going to be using your insight. You're going to be feeling like you have something to offer the universe as far as your individual contributions and your projects and that which you want to share. So that can be very positive for the summertime. So feeling creative, feeling like you want to get out there and start a new project. And then towards the end of the year, you may be having to stand your ground about what those decisions that you made earlier in the year in order to continue having further success. So it may have felt like a little bit of a battle, but either way, that to which is important to you that you've learned throughout the year is something that you're going to stand by at the end of the year. So you'll learn more about that as the year goes on, but certainly knowing where your morals and values lie so that you can stand by those in the end of the year is going to be important. And if at anything else, if that just means you're going to be doing more more traveling and finding more individual time to find your love and find your fulfillment, then that's what that means. So the bare necessities, I like to say, for this card. So regardless, let's talk a bit about some of these other cards. We've got number 56, which is the Vagabond, and also the Whale card. So you may be going deep within partnerships or travel. You may be really looking within yourself to determine your happiness. Let's read a bit about this Whale card. All right, the Whale card is a water element. Oop, there it was. All right, hold on. There it is. Desire to delve deeper, profound peace, ancient wisdom. When in balance, calm, steady, deeply compassionate. When out of bounds, heavily slips into old story. Bring into balance regular self-care. So Much like that Saturn going into your sixth house, this regular self-care is going to be important. If you do feel like you're going a little deep, if you do feel like you're being brought into those waters where you can't see so well, it says the whale represents profound emotional health and stability. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. These experiences have enriched them, giving them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on a whale personality when all else seems lost, and trust to them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. So being a beacon to somebody else in their darkest hour could be what it is that you're going to be doing with this Tower card. Either way, having the mindset of a spiritual leader could be helpful in this monk nun card here. It says selfless devotion to a single-minded dedication to spirit. Shadow attribute, negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety. So staying devoted to what it is that's important to you, even if that means you have to walk away from something, even if you had to continue to walk away from things throughout the year, you're going to be learning a lot about that which you are devoted to, and staying very optimistic about your love life throughout the whole process, even if things are challenging. It says positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And then we also have, this could be the one, you've already met the romantic partner you seek. So maybe there could be somebody coming back from the past that you decide to have another go at the relationship with. But looking within your heart, finding that strength and that stability so that you do stay on your correct path will be important. And that may mean some traveling for you. We have, it says Le Vagabond, but in certain decks, it's called the Traveler. Oh, here it's called the Wanderer. Here we are. All right. Fire above, mountain below. Seasoned travelers know that special decorum is called for when venturing far from home. They must develop a more yielding personality so that their local contact or host can open doors and pave the way. Inwardly, the wanderer knows that it is sometimes difficult to discern the intentions of strangers. Are they hostile, friendly, or merely opportunistic? The twin houses of mystery and discovery, which is interesting because the Lovers is the twins. So the twin houses of mystery and discovery rule any journey we take. Each new day is launched on a fresh landscape, one that reaches out to grab our attention. Travel is a great teacher and a great equalizer, and there is an art to living on the road. Increased caution and discernment become the keys not only to success, but to survival. If you're entertaining a new environment, be sincere, flexible, and understanding rather than stubborn. Get rid of attitudes and habits that can encumber you or make you too conspicuous. The onset of a great journey is not a favorable time to enter into binding agreements or start new enterprises. And though being the wanderer offers you certain freedom from being judged by your history, you also have no history to fortify you. Pay close attention to local customs and honor them. So if this is you going on your individual journey, being the traveler, allowing the landscape to teach you, and I think that is going to lead to a very beautiful 2023. All right, thanks, Libra. Next up, we're moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio, let's talk about the major ingresses that the planets will have for you this year. If you are Scorpio rising, you will have Jupiter moving into your sixth house. You'll have Pluto moving into your fourth house, and you will have Saturn moving into your fifth house. So what does all that mean? Well, Jupiter being the planet of expansion. Did I drop a card? No, there we are. Jupiter being the planet of good fortune and expansion, your good fortune and expansion is going to be happening in your sixth house that is ruled by Virgo. So it could be more of a time to focus on your wellness, to focus on your health, to focus on organization and other areas of life that need to be analyzed and brought just to a better solution. You could be coming up with new solutions on how to feel better about your health, how to support others. Maybe you're joining a gym or you're joining a yoga retreat or something like that. You're going to be expanding your knowledge of all things sixth house. And then Pluto in your fourth house, well, it may be time to just start making those home changes. Maybe you're ready to work on, maybe you're going to be finishing your basement, or you're going to be doing some kind of renovation to your space. All right, I'm going to cut the deck for Scorpio. Bottom of the deck, when I cut, I got the Moon card. So the fear of the unknown, you may be moving into some unknown areas that you have not been in before. It could be some fantasy. There could be some illusions, or perhaps even some addictions that you're working through, so that you can be more successful, but also so that you can work with this just more spiritual side of life, I would say. I know you are no stranger to things that are a little different or new. And so this year may be bringing some of those things to you. With Saturn working in your fifth house, that could mean new and exciting romances, maybe some fantasy there with some new romantic interests, or you could be connecting with a Pisces or possibly a Cancer. All right, I'm going to take one from the archetype deck for Scorpio. Then I'm going to take one from the Romance Angels deck for you. Next up, I'm going to take one from the Moonology deck, and then we'll take a look at all of these. So yeah, Saturn working in your fifth house. You may have to improve relations with children. You may have to learn more about your romantic relationships and how to be more successful in those. You also could be working with some more creative sides of yourself, and learning how to find joy and being the creator. All right, and then we're going to take one from the archetype deck. Okay, interesting. I shuffle these a lot, and then we still pull some same cards that we've had for others. So it just goes to show that we still have some themes that are going to be working through a lot of the different signs. All right, here we go. So your main energy for 2023 for Scorpio, we have the Spirit of Pentacles. That is the King of Pentacles. Your winter energy is the Universe. Been a popular card today. Your spring energy is the Five of Wands. The summer energy is the Eight of Wands. And the fall energy you have is the Spirit of Wands. So definitely seeing a lot of that creativity, like we talked about, coming up for you to manage this year. All right, so let's talk about the archetype cards that I pulled. It says for the Moon card, the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. We have the Poet card. Your romance angel is romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Your animal spirit card is tarantula. And your I Ching card is diverging interests, which has come up already today for someone else. All right, so here we go. Let's see here. So let's talk about it all. Let's see how all of this comes into play for you, for Scorpio, for 2023. Well, overall, Scorpio, and I don't think this is going to be much of a challenge for you. I think you're going to have really good boundaries in 2023. I think you're going to be defending your boundaries in such a way that it makes you more money, that it provides for inner wealth and joy on a material plane. I think you're going to be very grounded in your business dealings. This will be a very good year for business for you. You do have that very strategic business mind, and I see it making you money this year. So if you've had to put up some boundaries regarding spending, this is going to be the year where you see your investments come to fruition, where that what you've held on to and held back from for a reason will be benefiting you this year. So there may have been a lot of lessons that you learned as you've had the South Node move through your sign, that now you're smarter for it, and you aren't going to go back to the old ways. You're like, no, I need to have these boundaries. I need to have these maybe sometimes permeable walls, but I need to have walls in which are there for a reason so that I can find success on the inside. So if you've been building that fence around you for whatever reason, now you're going to be growing wealth within the corners that you've put up for yourself. You're going to be having success in a monetary way. All right. So also, you could be connecting with somebody else that's like this. You could be getting a new job, or maybe this is your boss, but you could be connecting with more of a fatherly figure, and that could be very important to you this year. Or maybe you're becoming a father. Could be any of the above, right? So at the beginning of the year, you're going to be graduating. You're graduating from a long energy of having the South Node in your sign, although we still have one more eclipse cycle here in the spring. But then the nodes are going to be moving on, and you're going to be better for it. You've learned so much. You've dealt with letting go. You've had to transform. You've had these higher goals for yourself that now you've finally achieved. You're like, okay, I'm there. I'm now there. And all the tests that you went through beforehand, you aren't going to be tested on the same subject matter again. You've proven to the universe here as we enter the winter into the spring that you deserve to graduate from that which you've learned in the past few years. And what's great about that is that then you'll feel new. You won't feel like the same old, same old. You'll feel like, okay, I'm smarter, I'm wiser, I'm ready, and I'm going to do it here in the springtime. And what's that going to mean? Well, as the springtime rolls around, it could be some competition. It could be some, maybe a little jealousy, but either way, this could be friendly competition. Maybe you're taking on a new sport, and this is you and your team winning. Perhaps you're dating, and there's multiple people who want your attention, or there's somebody whose attention you want who has multiple options. Either way, just be careful for any excess jealousy, because realize that you've already made it. There's no use being jealous of others unless they have something that you're willing to learn how to do, and doing so in a manner where it's going to be a friendly competition. So have fun with some friendly competition in the spring, if that has to do with sports or dating, or any small battles which you've been competing with others against. Just realize that you are, in fact, already a winner. So you don't necessarily have to get everybody else to agree with you. So, all right, have fun with that. And then in the summertime, it looks like we're going to be having some traveling, either that or a lot of communication, a lot of forward-thinking, forward-moving thoughts and communication. You could be planning for a trip. You may just be getting in the car and driving. Maybe you want to go on a long road trip this summer just to let it all go, to enjoy yourself, and to find some new people to have some fun conversations with. This is definitely you moving ahead and doing so quickly. So know what your plan is, because if you're going to be moving that fast, you want to be going in the right direction. So don't get caught up in anything petty. If it seems petty, just move forward, right? Because you don't want anything holding back your energy, and or having those boundaries surrounding things in which you don't want to have to deal with. Like, you don't have to sit there and have a petty argument when you can just walk away and say, I don't want to deal with that. So have fun with that if that's the case. But then in the future, I mean, I do see this as being a highly creative year for you. Maybe you're going to learn something new, and then you're going to keep moving forward, and then at the end you're going to be extremely successful with it. With your King of Wands here in the future, you're going to be harnessing that creativity. You're going to be perhaps working with a fire sign male, or somebody else who is another fiery leader, or this is going to be you having new opportunities in which you've proven yourself all year. You've gone from the 5 to the 8 to the King, and that is quite the journey. And so you're entering this new challenging time frame for yourself, with the reckless abandon of saying, hey, I'm here to do my best. I'm here to do my best, regardless of what anybody around me is doing. And that's going to bring me success in the future. And it's going to allow for you to inspire others. So I think it's going to be a very inspiring year for you. It says here that energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. And that is exactly what we're seeing. 5, 8 King, it's gaining. This is a year you're going to be bringing in a lot of good fortune, like we talked about. And that's going to be done through hard work and commitment to your goals. And then your archetype card here of the poet says, expresses soul insight in symbolic language, turns a lyric gift into negative or destructive effect. So working with how you're dealing with your words, if you feel like you have a lot to say and maybe you're in the mood to argue, perhaps it would be better to write it down first, to put a text message in your notes and maybe not send it, but either way, you got your words out to yourself and you understand yourself more because you're working with words in more of a creative fashion. And or this could be perhaps writing a song or enjoying music on a deeper level where you just feel like the words are singing to you. And that could be putting you in a spirit of romance. You could be just feeling more ready for relationship. If you haven't been in the mood for relationships lately, you may be more in the mood this year. It says your feelings are real and worth exploring. So whoever this is that's bringing you that competition and things start moving ahead, then you will know because you'll be in tune with your feelings and they're going to be real this time. All right. That doesn't mean that there aren't some decisions to make, though. So let's talk about the tarantula as we have those final eclipses happening for you this year. It means that there has been a shift. There has been some changes. You're going to be following the path of your dharma and your soul. And so where is that going to take you? Let's see here. Let's find our tarantula card. Here we are. At a crossroads, claiming life's purpose. When in balance follows intuition, when out of balance hesitates over intellectualizes, bring into balance daily journaling. The tarantula represents a moment when great decision must be made and involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream, yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find true happiness, you must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers patient and calm like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. So yeah, I like that it says daily journaling here with the poet card. And let's talk a bit about the I Ching. We have number 38, which is diverging interests. And so you may just be going in a new direction that others don't necessarily have to follow you in, and that's a-okay. It says some level of estrangement is indicated. For example, when brothers and sisters choose partners and marry, they often grow apart since their allegiances prioritize new families. Though they will remain close enough to deal with problems and interests related to their original family, they're less likely to undertake great projects together. Simply put, when people grow apart, even for the most natural of reasons, their points of view, values, and interests or schedules diverge. Different natures and interests bring opposition into the world of human affairs. If opposition drifts into alienation and anonymity, good results are few, if at all. But when opposition takes the form of healthy competition, or when it is recognized as part of the natural order of things, good fortune is still possible for the relationship. When diverging interests make a situation seem stagnant or futile, remember that there are always creative possibilities inherent in polarities. One is reminded of the interplay of opposites, yin and yang, which is fundamental to life itself. As the symbol of Tao illustrates, the yin and yang each have a seat of the other residing within them. If opposition has roots in an issue of principle, you must hold to your integrity and individuality. Let go of vulgar or self-absorbed people that do not share your values, right? King of Pentacles. With both people and companies, one measure of stature is the quality of one's competition. So be interesting to see what kind of competition you're going to get into this year, Scorpio. But I wish you luck, and I wish you a very happy 2023. And last but not least, we absolutely have Sagittarius. All right, Sag, we're going to put everything back. We're going to shuffle one more time, and we're going to talk about the ingresses of some of these major planets into new houses for you in 2023. The first planet we've talked about has been Jupiter, and Jupiter being your ruling planet. It's pretty exciting for you to see that finally move into some new spaces. So Jupiter on December 21st just moved into Aries to stay. And so it's going to be working its way through your 5th house. And I feel like that is going to bring some new romances for you, some new opportunities to work with children, and some new creative endeavors, which will be exciting because Jupiter is going to be in a fire sign. So that's going to be trying your planets and working with you harmoniously. We also have Pluto that's going to be making its way into your 3rd house. And these are for whole sign houses, and certainly depending on the angles of your individual chart, it may be different, but eventually Pluto will be making its way into your 3rd house for Sagittarius rising. And so what that's going to mean? Well, it could mean just some transformation as it deals with communication, as it deals with your community and other things ruled by Gemini, like that fast moving thinking energy. What are you going to be doing with it? How are you going to be changing that to work for you? How are you going to be consciously creating with the energy in 2023 to let go of old ways of communication and to make room for new ways to work with others? We also have Saturn in your 4th house. So Saturn could be teaching you a bit about the house and home right now. You may find that you maybe you have to move. Maybe you are building a house. Maybe you're renovating your space. Maybe there are things within your home space that you just aren't down with anymore, that you've been dealing with for a long time. Like maybe there's been some things that haven't been functioning, and now it's time for you to correct those things. And looking within the heart to find the right answers for yourself is going to be the challenge. But luckily, we do have some time with some of the slower moving planets, and that should hopefully not make things too stressful as you're going through some learning cycles within those areas of life. All right, so right now I'm just looking for one archetype card for you. Okay, we're going to pick that one for Sagittarius. And then I'm going to shuffle the tarot 1 or 2 more times, and we're going to pick your energies. All right. We've seen a few repeats come up, so I'm interested to see if we're going to get any of those, Sag, or what your story is for 2023. All right. So we're going to cut the deck. Sagittarius, 2023. Bottom of the deck, Innocence of Pentacles. You could have some small money offers working in, or you could be just having some opportunities for money coming in. Maybe not a lot of money, but perhaps some side projects working out for you. All right, bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles. I do want to mention that because that is a very happy card. All right, so let's see. What is our main energy for Sagittarius for 2023? Oof, super interesting. This has come out from multiple people. We have the 7 of Swords, winter energy, 5 of Wands, spring energy, Ace of Wands, summer energy, the Naked Heart, and the winter energy is the King of Pentacles. For your oracle cards, we have Warrior. For the I Ching, I have Augmentation. For the Romance Angel, I have Heart-to-Heart Conversations. Your animal spirit card is the Butterfly. And for 2023, your Moonology card is New Moon in Scorpio. Wow, this one came out quite a bit, as well as the 7 of Swords. When I see both of these together, I honestly, the first thing I think of is, what's your strategy going to be for this year? What is your strategy going to be? And it may mean that your strategy is letting go, which kind of seems like an odd strategy, but there are going to be lessons surrounding that which doesn't serve you anymore. And as it deals with honesty and things that are in your best nature, you may be walking away from things that are not in your best nature. And you could be just ghosting some things, or you could be being ghosted by people that no longer serve you or your best interests. So it could be rejection is God's protection in this year, but also this speaks of being really honest with yourself. There could be areas of life that you just haven't been straight up with yourself, and now you have to do so and face those fears or face the fallout of what it means to just be honest. And Sagittarius usually doesn't have a problem with telling the truth, or at least speaking their mind. So doing so in a strategic way as to like not burn bridges if you don't want to, but then also to protect your own integrity. If you don't feel like somebody's being straight up with you, if you've been in a relationship and you feel like maybe somebody's cheating on you, or somebody's not giving you the attention you deserve, you have to be strategic about whether or not you want to stay with that, or whether or not you want to try something new. And if you feel like sneaking away in the middle of the night as a way of solving your problems, perhaps leave a note behind so people know that where you went and that you're okay. All right. So, okay. So starting out the beginning of the year, though, it could feel like some healthy, friendly competition, hopefully healthy competition and not any pettiness. But this does speak, if we're talking about love, maybe you're out dating and there's a couple options and you're trying to keep things interesting for yourself by having a couple options, or maybe people that you're dating also have a couple options and there is some of that healthy competition. But certainly all is fair in love and war, that if you're the one that's dating multiple people, other people you're dating have the full right of doing that as well. Either way, you could be involving yourself in some sports, maybe some competitive sports, even something as simple as going bowling, and you really want to win. You're going to do so because you think you're the best. And you know, and that is not necessarily a bad thing. And a lot of times when we believe in ourselves, we do find success. After the 5 of Wands is the 6 of Wands. So what is it that you want to be successful in this year? Go out there and do it. Go out there and don't be afraid of losing. Don't be afraid of having to try again. Get up and do it again if that's the case. If you fall on your face, get up and do it again. Because what's going to happen after that is that there's going to be this new creative spark. And a lot of times that does come from competition, seeing what the other guy's doing, being like, oh, okay, I wish I could do that myself. And so I'm going to go out and learn it. And I'm going to be the one that's holding the key here at the end. But this could also mean for some exciting sexual energy here in the springtime as things warm up. They may warm up for you in more than one way. And you could find that after all the battles, you did win. And now you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, whatever creative endeavor you're trying to go in at this time. And I do feel that this is your ruling planet working with you in Aries to become that fiery leader that you are, and to manifest what it is that you want by working with the energy consciously. So that could leave you feeling, I don't know, a little open. I don't know. This is a card of vulnerability and of learning from the heart on a deeper level. This is a special card to this deck. And it's the only time it's come out is for you, Sagittarius. So what does this say to me? This says that Sag can let their walls down. This says that maybe you've had some walls up. Maybe you haven't wanted to be totally yourself, and now you're going to just be a stripped down version of you. You know, hopefully not completely naked, but having the protection that you want in your heart, because you do understand yourself now on a better level, that you don't have to be afraid. We're going to let go of the fears. You don't have to be afraid of what other people think. And you can just go on being your fun, fiery self, which is what's that's going to do for you in the fall time, is that that's going to bring some monetary success. That's going to mean that those boundaries that you put up around yourself for success and the vulnerability that you allowed yourself to have are going to be the reasons for your achievement in the end. And or you could also be connecting with an earth sign male, like a Virgo, a Capricorn, or a Taurus towards the end of the year. And if that's a love interest of yours and that's something that you've been competitive about, well, guess what? It's going to be yours at the end of the year. But you may have to put your fears aside and be more vulnerable in order to transform. Let's talk about this butterfly here. In order to transform into the butterfly that you are, if you're in that chrysalis stage right now, then there still needs some changes. We still have some changes that need to be made. So being patient with those. Let's see what the butterfly says. We can't have all of our changes happen overnight. And so this year, seeing what that means for you, it's definitely going to be a beautiful year. Let's see here. I'm trying to find my butterfly. Either way, though, I feel like Sags, you definitely deserve to have this beauty surrounding you and this joy. And I feel like this is the year that you're going to get a lot more of that spark that you deserve. All right. What does it say here? Undergoing great change and transformation. When in balance, cheerful, graceful. When out of balance, fragile, frustrated. Bring into balance daily routine. The energy of the butterfly is with us during periods of transition. Since air is the element of the heart, this change usually involves relationships, or if you love your job, perhaps your career, which Saturn in the fourth may not speak of career, but anything that has to do with the home life could be up for change right now. Since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon, committing to one daily routine, a meal, a practice, or prayer, done at the same place and same time will do you wonders for uplifting butterfly spirit. And what does that also mean? Having the right conversations with others. I like how it says here, honestly discuss your feelings with others. Honestly, let's not hide what it is that we want here. If you feel like you can't get what you deserve, and then that's why you aren't speaking your truth, then you're cheating yourself. So we don't want to be doing that. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So that could be that's a card of needing to be more vulnerable and being aware of your feelings and not being afraid to express them. And that may be the fear that you are working through this year. Either way, you're going to do so with a warrior spirit. And this warrior says strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice to conquering the ego, which, we had our King of Pentacles here. It's definitely some stoicism there. It says shadow attributes, trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. So be very aware of maybe if you're in this mindset, you don't have to be, you can be a good winner. You don't have to be a sore winner if you are, in fact, a winner and it's been more of a battle for you. But to wrap it all up, for Sagittarius, let's see what number 42 has to say for the I Ching. 42. Let's see here. It says increase. In French, it says augmentation. So increase. Wind above, thunder below. Substantial progress and increasing prosperity are exhilarating and good, as long as you go with the flow and keep the interests of others in mind. Like a river's white water rapids, periods of increase can be of short duration. It furthers one to ride the rapids now, while waves of opportunity are high. Leadership in times of increasing opportunity involves a commitment to the needs of cohorts and or dependents. By remembering that to lead is to serve, a leader strengthens their ability to bring about lasting increase in prosperity. In a time of general increase, those who contribute most directly to the common good will achieve the greatest and most lasting rewards, which this is going to be you at the end of the year, right? When opportunities for increase arise, very good fortune comes to those who act swiftly and boldly without falling into the trap of letting their actions be merely self-serving. So watch for any jealousy then. If you aspire to a position of prominence, the most enduring strategy is to work to raise the tide of your entire community, company, or relationship, rather than setting out to swim upstream on your own. When the times favor prosperity, and when leadership is in the hands of the broad-minded, supreme good fortune is the result. So I definitely see supreme good fortune in your future, Sagittarius. Well, thanks so much to everybody for watching their 2023 predictions. I wish everyone a beautiful and happy 2023. Keep your heads up and be safe. And please check in for the new moon and full moon readings that I will have throughout this year.
Please subscribe to my channel for more Tantra and Tarot.